3, 2, 1. Hey, folks, welcome to Bouncing Brains. This is Tuesday, July 2nd. Motherfucker, don't act like you didn't have to think about it, too.
That's why I'm laughing, because I had to think about it.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I think we started off the last episode with you trying to correct me on June. And
I fucked up.
Trying to blame my very moderate marijuana habit. How dare you, sir?
Moderate
besmirch me
is a word used very loosely.
Hey, I always roll it tight. What are you talking about? Don't be spreading rumors about my shit.
Hey, every day, but you know what? It's not a lot.
I'm Sean Hatfield,
and I'm Freddy G.
For our ASMR fans, this shit ain't in stereo, you freaks. You just high. All right.
I see white people. Good evening, everybody. On today's episode,
Freddy explores his sexuality. Bring in the stripper.
Will Tom ever catch Jerry? That's all the fuck I'm saying. Was it ever fair that the coyote never caught the roadrunner?
He wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Yeah, he would have. He was gonna eat him.
You assume that,
same
man,
thing.
But,
same
dude,
thing.
after a while,
same thing that Yosemite Sam was gonna do to Bugs Bunny.
Look.
Wait, no, that was Elmo Fudd, right?
No. But here, go back and look at some of that shit. Like, all right, rocket skates makes sense. He went to
shout out to what are they called? Acme.
Yeah, Acme.
Looney Tunes.
Acme
Core for life. But all right, rocket skates made sense. Wanted to fucking catch it, strangle that bird, consume it.
The magnet.
Also, not a horrible idea, but when you get to the point where the motherfucker was like shooting rockets at it and trying to like fucking like crush it under a boulder, this motherfucker would have just like at some point he was just out to destroy this creature.
Yeah.
He had no
like he was obviously not worried about the meat.
Like, what are you gonna do?
You know what? Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah,
you got a point.
He was just gonna. He was like, "Fuck it, man."
But it's because I think you do get to that point, like to where it's like, oh fuck that. Like now I just want to kill him to kill him.
No, it reminds me of like a racist person, dude. You know, sometimes you just hate it because you hate it. There's no reason.
He just made Looney Tunes racist.
No. I believe Warner Brothers originally made Looney Tunes racist.
How?
They had Bugs Bunny blackface.
Oh, dude!
No, really?
Yeah. They had an episode. Of
Can you pull it up?
Let me see if I can find it, dude. Because
why does it say that?
What does it say? What?
Dude, just put.
It says upload content.
Oh yeah, man. Hold on, dude. This is I was trying to upload right now. Just
reading words off a screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Looney Tunes has a checkered past. They did a whole shitload of like racial caricatures.
Disney's been known for that. Like Disney showed homosexuality like very early in their cartoons as well.
Usually as the foil, like the whole trope about bring in the evil, slightly gay villain, flamboyant.
Is that it?
Yeah, this is it. But let me fast forward to the part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where
y'all can't see this, but we are watching some old. What? This is from the 40s or the 30s?
This is from 1940s. 1940.
Yeah.
And they use blackface, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Why do you say that like you're surprised the 40s was slightly racist?
Because it was the 40s. Like, you don't get it? Like, everything was supposed to be...
Oh, no, they changed it, if I'm correct.
Everything was supposed to be politically correct.
Because this is like, watch. This is supposed to be him in blackface at this point.
Well, no, didn't he attack the dude?
Yeah, he attacked the dude. Where's the blackface
41, bro. Holy shit!
I might have spoken way too early, dude. I might have spoken out of context. Because
did you ever hear about those riots that happened in? I think there were several others, but they're in New Zealand and in Australia. There were riots involving American service members because they demanded like segregation between black and white soldiers.
Wait,
are you
what?
for real?
Yeah, man.
Wait, run that again.
Yeah. During the World War II in the
Okay.
Pacific Campaign,
Okay.
American soldiers stationed in New Zealand and in Australia were involved in, responsible for riots that were originated with incidents involving a demand for segregation of, I think one of them was a bar and the other one was what do you call it? What's that? The company store, basically. PX.
Oh, there's a PX, there's a Exchange, and there's several other like military like stores.
Okay.
Depending on the branch, they're different. It just PX is the army.
Okay.
Army
Well,
one.
yeah, that was basically it. But yeah, there were fucking riots, man. People got shot by cops.
That's weird.
I think there was.
Well, not weird, but a little disturbing to know.
Yeah.
The real fun fact before you get off this subject.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever noticed when you watch the Looney Tunes that every single Looney Tune is disabled?
What do you mean?
Y'all never noticed that?
Like it has like
Yeah, they have
the disability.
they have a legitimate disability. What does Daffy Duck do?
Daffy Duck stutters.
He lisps.
Yeah, he lisps.
Porky Pig stutters.
Porky Pig stutters.
Elmer Fudd kind of, it's clearly on the slow side.
You're a dick.
No, man. Dude, if you want, bring up the original Elmer Fudd cartoons, man. Like, he talks.
I said you're a dick. I never said you were wrong. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but you're right. Elmer Fudd is on the slow side, and one of them, I forgot who. I don't want to say it like that because I'm gonna get a shitload of backlash.
Sylvester, wait.
This is not a disability.
Which one of the Looney Tunes do you think was gay?
Yeah, one of them was gay.
Who
I forgot who it was. Who's the
was
gay
it? Was
one?
it Marvin the Martian?
No,
Are
wait.
You think right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Marvin.
Little sugar in his tank.
Bugs Bunny's got some androgyny.
No.
Yeah, but
So does
Bugs,
Daffy as well.
Bugs
No.
Bunny is just a cross-dresser. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
Transvestite.
A transvestite.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with Leo. Daffy Duck is just no. He's not gay.
Let me see if
Ma-
there's like
Marvin-
I think Daffy is confused about something because every once in a while you can watch those cartoons with him and Bugs in it where like they go like straight out. There's one where I think they were doing Can. There was another one where I can't remember what the scenario
But
was.
y'all had never noticed
What?
that every Looney Tune's disabled.
They've got some quirk, man, but I mean I don't know if that was on purpose.
Oh, but
10 Looney
you're
Tunes.
really gonna think that wasn't on purpose? I think that was on purpose.
Well, it's good to have like a definitive characteristic when you're doing like a cartoon where it's got to be over the top, man.
Oh, and what does Sylvester do? He has a disability too.
Through Sylvester is generally seen as a cunning cat who terrorizes the innocent Tweety bird.
I think he's got a lisp too.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
lisp. Sylvester, whom has suffered, subject to painful events, dysfunctional. He is unable to break free from his dysfunctional relationship. He is so dependent on toxic relationship that he tries to hurt and gets hurt, and the vicious cycle continues. Yet he doesn't let go. Besides his codependency traits, he probably has bulimia, possibly rooting from this relationship. Bulimia explains his inflated body and obsessive eating and regurgitating the Tweety bird.
Holy shit, this dude really
Well, I think
went
they're
into
reading a little
detail.
bit too much into
Yeah.
the regurgitating the Tweety bird. I was about to say, I don't think I've ever seen an episode with Sylvester throwing up that wasn't literally him, the bird getting away.
Oh, and the Tasmanian devil. What's wrong with him?
Let's see. Pepe Le Pew, bro.
Yeah. Oh no, hold on. Answer my question because
What?
I know what's wrong with the Tasmanian.
I don't know if they included it in this one. Yo,
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would refer to
Wait, before you read anything,
sexual predator as a disability.
I want to say
I mean,
that's what I was gonna get at, bro. Pepe Le Pew's a little bit of a fucking Chester, bro.
what I was gonna say about Taz before
Chester?
you read anything.
No, not a Chester. He's just a fucking guy who does sexual assault.
I was about to say I must have missed that episode.
No,
man.
no. He never underaged.
Would they finally? I'm trying to remember the Petunia. Is that the name of the cat?
Yeah.
Petunia.
Yeah.
I was about to do they reveal she's actually 15? Is that what happens?
She's a kitten.
Hey man.
Oh, in France it does not matter.
Before you read Taz,
Yeah.
I just want to say, and I haven't read anything. I just want to
What
say
is
that
this from, by the way?
This
Because you
is
just
from
started reading this like this was a reputable...
Wonderlist has 10 Looney Tune characters with mental disorders.
I've never even heard of Wonderlist.
Me neither. It was the first link when I searched on Google. These aren't
Reliable
academic.
information.
Yeah, these aren't academic
I
resources
was gonna
here.
I was gonna say that Taz is retarded.
Okay, let's read. You speculate he's retarded.
Yeah.
Do you have any guesses on what his mental disability is, Sean?
Oh, I was gonna say I just said he was retarded.
I would assume Taz might be on the borderline spectrum.
Like borderline personality or borderline schizophrenic?
I'd say borderline personality, perhaps, with perhaps like a bit of like manic depressive, because you can see those moments where he like calms down. There's even a few where he kind of gets like,
That's true.
He even gets a little affectionate.
He
with
might
some
be
characters.
bipolar too.
Yeah, that's what he's touching on.
Yeah. But then when he get like the provocation is instant. It's like it's on. There's no gray area.
I definitely see ADD.
Yeah, I agree.
That's also
ADHD.
a possibility.
ADHD,
the hyper one. Yeah,
the ADHD exactly.
Yeah,
maybe a bit of autism. Maybe he
yeah.
responds to loud. The
He's
stimulus.
autistic.
Yeah.
Very.
And it looks like if he could fuck, he would like never stop fucking.
he would never stop, dude.
Yeah, he would never stop.
I would hate.
He
to
would
see
end
Taz.
up like chapped and dehydrated. Is what the fuck I'm saying.
I'm trying to remember exactly how that one episode ends with where he runs into the female devil.
Oh shit!
I think they only did that one time, and they were like, we can't play this out much further without going into X-rated territory. And they didn't have the X rating at that point, so it wouldn't have worked.
Taz is a generally hyperactive but complacent marsupial. Complacent. Was that the word right?
You read the word correctly. I don't think that's the correct word to use.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
With a childlike excellent about things, especially food, but he transforms into a raving individual when ticked off, thus becoming the Tasmanian devil, a destructive cyclone, and indicating his intermittent explosive disorder, complemented by his violent mood swings. His distractibility, confusion, and hyperactivity are symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Besides unbounded craziness, he also has delusion general disorder of activity, which say that he has progressed to schizophrenia. Oh wow, causing deliriums and cognitive defects. There are many other characters from the show that might also have some psychological conditions. Oh, this is just the ending. The ending note.
Holy shit, man!
Taz is crazy, dude.
I told y'all that these motherfuckers had something wrong with them.
I thought that was just you trying to like find
and you know
faults
why?
in everybody.
And you know why?
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh, but we've had this conversation off camera before, you and me.
Yeah.
You know why I caught on early that there was something wrong with all these motherfuckers when I was watching these cartoons?
Why?
Again, because I identified with a lot of them.
With a lot of the Looney Tunes?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers are off. But because I had a lot of the same...
Did you try to identify with these guys over like a joint?
No, man. I was like 12 years old.
Oh, okay, man. Because I think if I were high, dude, I would start thinking everybody's like either high or crazy or something, you know? Have you ever been that high where you're like, dude, everybody's high?
Yeah. Everybody's moving slow, you know?
This isn't just me. This is everybody.
Yeah.
Did the world just stop?
Yeah.
I've had those Matrix moments on the freeway where you just look around, like you get that moment of like almost stillness, and you watch the passing cars, and you could just read the emotional state, the aura, if you will, of the occupants and the operators. It's it can be a bit depressing when you start thinking about how heavily medicated we are as a society and self-medicated. Hell, a couple of us here can cop to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and generally speaking, I
I've
think if we
said-
were a little more honest about it, we'd be prepared. You know what I mean?
I've said this before, but I'd like to reiterate again, and it's not a joke. I'm really seriously not joking about this at all. Like, I really do think that if everybody would just smoke a little weed, the world would be different. But let me explain. Like, I'm not trying to be like, what's that thing? I'm not trying to be cliche.
Super.
Like, I'm saying, like, and everybody in here smoked, right, before or whatever, you know. So let me give you an example, and it may be different. So I want y'all, for everybody. So I want you to chime in, you know, if it's different. Like, when I used to smoke, man, like marijuana. Like, I'm disabled, right? Clearly, and I have ADD and I'm dyslexic and all that shit. But when I would smoke and I would get high and I would go into that zone, like, marijuana would really balance me out. And like, my clouded thoughts would clear up. So, and then not only that, but like, positivity came over me. And I would start thinking deeply. I was like, what if I were to approach it like this? Like, I would get deep in thought. So that's why I think, like, if everybody in the world smoked just a little bit of weed, I'm not saying get high out of your mind, just a little bit. Just like when you have a headache and people pop one Tylenol, just same dosage. And I think that it would fix a lot of, like, problems with people. As far as, like, our interactions. Y'all think I'm wrong?
I
mean-
think everybody should try it.
Yeah, I don't
That
think
doesn't
it's,
answer my question.
I don't think it's for everybody.
I've seen people get very violent on marijuana.
Yeah.
But you think everybody's going to get violent? Not everybody, but you think
No.
that person that will get violent, you think they'll get violent if they just take one hit?
I don't know, man. Like, it all it depends on it's like all in the individual basis. Like, there is case studies where people do show like a little bit of violence, even if just like getting high. Like, I think it's just a unwillingness to lose control, you know. And then there is people that freak out, like, in like way too bad, even like with one little hit. You know, it's
Yeah.
just
The only thing that I didn't like about, like, smoking marijuana, well, sometimes I did. Like-
Cottonmouth.
No, well, yeah, that sucks too, but I could deal with that. Is like sometimes when I would get high, I didn't like getting random erections.
okay. That never happened to me.
That's just you, dog.
Yeah, that's just you.
That's
bro.
not the first time you've mentioned random erections happening in your
Oh,
life.
but
So
that
Yeah,
was
yeah, bro. You just be grateful you have a good fucking testosterone buildup in your body. All right, that's not the marijuana,
because-
bro.
No, it's the marijuana, bro.
No,
Because
you
I'd
know.
be high and
I mean, it's probably the marijuana helping you relax, and then you getting relaxed just gives you a boner.
as you walk past
Yeah.
that mother shielding her child's eyes, you're just like, I'm sorry, ma'am, this is my T count.
This is, I got good
Yeah.
genes.
like
And these pants make it look nice, right?
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I did that with my penis.
But,
I've seen a drummer try that.
But
Didn't work.
yeah, I again, the thoughts and views and expressions that I've expressed towards this, I just want to make it clear is I'm just talking about marijuana, not any other drug.
See, now that's where I think you're limiting yourself because
No, I mean, I think you can. You don't get me wrong. I think that. Okay, let me say it like this real quick. I think that every drug has its purpose, but I mean, a lot of us don't know what that purpose is, so we abuse it, right? But I do think that there is a positive effect where you can. Where I think there is a situation where you can be like, "Hey, you should take some cocaine for that." I think that like, hey, you should take some heroin for that.
Hey, man,
but everything in like a controlled like dosage.
Right. But what you described, the clarity of thought, the goodwill towards man.
Oh, but that's marijuana.
I've felt that on a good night of coke. Now, granted, there was probably also some whiskey involved. But I'm not saying that is the typical state for it, which is exactly the argument we're making for marijuana. Is it's not? It is a general state.
I've seen some outstanding cokeheads, dude. Some people that do coke and
Just
it's
wonderful human beings.
Not only that, bro, but it doesn't even phase them, bro. Like afterwards, like they'll do like their bumps and they'll be like, you know what? It's off to bed.
Oh, that's always a weird one.
Yeah, like okay, like damn, dude, you're just like all of a sudden, hey man, you know what? It's 4 p.m. I'm done. I'm at 4 a.m. I'm done partying.
Did the person that like walks in and like fucking just like licks a little frosting off the cake and goes, "That's delicious. All right, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't want a piece? Nah, I'm good, man. That's cool.
No, but they do coke, dude. They just when they do coke, they do coke. But they're just.
I had a friend that was like that.
As we have said before, it is generally the accumulative effects of cocaine and the behavior that it tends to what do you call it? Incentivize. That is the issue societally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no hate on the cocaine users in our audience. You have love here, but just don't be a filthy degenerate. Is all we're saying.
The only positive thing I ever got, like out of cocaine, was that after like so much use, and I'm not saying I did a lot of it like at once, but I'm saying after like a certain amount of use, I would take like the most amazing shit in the world.
Yeah, dude.
That was it.
Fuck yeah.
It was like shit, like straight out of heaven. Like it was just. This is gonna sound weird, and a lot of y'all may not understand, but it was the most delicious shit. For real.
Yo, you guys ever like douse a little bit of not douse? You guys ever like apply a little bit of cocaine on the tip of your dick?
No.
No.
Bro.
I will say you are not the first human being to bring that to my attention, but no.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say a cigarette, a blunt.
Nah, dude. No. Oh, you guys smoke? You guys smoke Primos too?
No.
No.
No. I was
just joking.
I plead the fifth.
No.
You know what's way different to smoke though?
Yeah.
And something that honestly, it was a good high, but I will tell you that I will never do it again.
Meth?
No, fuck no.
Oh.
I've never done meth. Again, because I have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
And I've heard great shit about that. Hash, bro. I smoked hash, and that shit was.
Have you tried straight keef?
No,
yeah,
I've never
dude,
tried. I've heard of it.
I've fucked with
but
keef.
no, I've not. But I
like you're talking about pressing it down and making it into like a little disc or something,
like tarish and shit.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about?
Hash is also cured.
Yeah.
So like it's further like you're taking like raw weed, dude, and taking the trichromes off. Whereas keef is already cured on the plant, and then you're just taking the trichromes that are collecting and whatever your sieve you're using and putting that, talk about lacing a joint. That's a good way to fucking either take a long nap or
the first time that I smoked,
fuck yeah, dude.
The first time that I smoked hash, dude, I didn't even smoke the little rock on the hash. You know what I smoked? It was so cured. Didn't see it made my mouth water. It was so cured, dude, that I smoked the oil that it was draining. Like I put the oil in the pipe, and my cousin, may rest in peace, he was like, just like that, bro, and hit it once. And if you want to hit this rock, I'll let you hit the rock.
Did you put it on like bud already, or just?
What do you mean?
How did you smoke the oil?
Because well, I can say this because my cousin is no longer here, but like he was an expert at like fucking cooking crack, and I mean that's what he did.
I got you. This guy free based. Got you.
Yeah. So he made his own hash, right?
Yeah.
So he made it, and I don't know the chemistry of it, but I know that.
But how did you smoke it on the pipe?
That's what I'm trying to say. you know how you have the rock, right? And you then once it's cooked and everything and pressed.
Were you smoking it out of like one of those like little boiler or flask looking
No,
things?
it was like
a crack pipe. Were you guys smoking it out of a crack pipe?
No, it wasn't a crack pipe. It was like a small bong.
A glass rose.
Yeah.
That's a crack pipe.
Like no, it was like a small bong type of, you know what I'm saying? And then what I'm trying to tell you is that when you get that little block of hash, and it's just like, I don't know how to call it, but it has just been done like being pressed. It sweats because like it's hot.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
you're basically at that point vaporizing it.
Yeah. So then when it sweats, like you see all the oil come out of it, and then like the oil is kind of like falling on the plastic.
It wasn't off one of these, right?
No, that's a crack pipe, bro.
Yeah,
I know,
dude.
I know what a crack pipe is when I
It
see
wasn't
one.
off one of these either.
No,
You guys weren't putting it on foil and.
No, fuck no. That's
Okay.
freebasing. I know what the fuck that is.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that, bro. It looked like a bong.
Yeah.
It looked like
Was it one of these fuckers?
yeah, something like that, but smaller.
This is like a sophisticated crack pipe.
No, but that it was smaller than that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that little, because it was hot, it starts to sweat. So when it sweats, it's the oil consistency. So we were putting that oil consistency into that little bong looking thing, and then he would like just light that, hit it once, and if you want more, I'll put this little hash rock in the. Bro, I hit that shit once. And that's all I needed, and I was high for about 3 or 4 hours.
Right on.
Yeah, it was like after a while, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got scared. I was like, and my cousin said that I asked him like 2 or 3 times. I asked him if I was gonna be like normal again. I was like, am I gonna feel normal again, or is this like?
Yeah.
Y'all ever fuck around with dabs?
Yeah, dude.
I've never tried that because I've heard the same thing.
Fuck yeah,
so.
dude.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, you know who dabs, but I don't want to put them out there like that.
Yeah.
Who dabs like crazy is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's people that play Fortnite, bro. You just like,
Dude, we've got a mutual friend that has put me on my ass a couple times because I've tried to keep pace with him.
Yeah, man,
And
that
that's
motherfucker, dude. They have a blowtorch, bro.
that's how you do dabs.
Yeah, like fucking. But that shit, yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Yo, is it weird, bro? Like I don't like smoking a lot of weed. Like for me, if I could just like smoke like the tip of the joint, I'm good. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, have you like say as a habit like how often would you do that?
Probably about like maybe 3 times a week.
Just like
You only smoke 3 times a week?
Yeah, dude. I don't smoke a lot, man. Basically anytime I come over here.
make us sound like a bad influence.
I mean, you guys aren't like a bad influence, but
No, that's what you just fucking said.
y'all the kids, the parents won't let them hang out with.
But this is like the environment to do that. If I was ever gonna do that in the week, you know, like other times I got like
That's weird.
yeah. What do you mean it's weird?
Well, because I used to smoke every day. So then, is that bad?
What?
I don't know if it's. I mean, I think
Smoking
it's,
every day?
I think
I
that's
mean,
normal.
I
You're
don't-
talking to the wrong person, sir.
I don't do it now.
Yeah, like
Let's get that straight. But when I used to smoke daily.
Yeah,
Like before I went to school, during lunch, before my last 2 periods,
I think
after school.
daily use classifies you as a stoner.
yeah.
Like, and not with any bad
But I was
context to
still, like I wasn't on the couch.
Okay, there's one. You got subcategories of stoner, and then like fucking pothead. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Shit, Dave Chappelle, fucking movie, man.
Half baked.
Half
Half
baked.
baked. There you go. Where it's like, all I know is I'm not a fucking pothead. And yeah, I've known some fucking hardcore like pot. I have probably at various times in my life been a hardcore useless couch
No, I
fucking riding pothead.
Yeah.
I didn't know this about you, so I will tell you this. With THC,
Yeah.
with like normal, not unless you purify the THC and you're fucking smoking moon rock. Moon rock is the exception to what I'm about to say.
I'll take down some moon rock though.
Fuck no. That shit is not from the earth. Anyway.
Just a little get you good.
So what I'm saying is, like with regular weed that has regular THC, I forgot what the consistency is or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you smoke a joint, right? And then you get high. And then if you're a rookie, you're gonna get like really high. But my point is, like to highness, there's a limit. There's a limit that you hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see a point in pushing that limit.
That's what I was gonna
say.
say.
Go on.
Okay, there are exponential levels.
Let me explain. Let me because he's getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's that limit, right? Once you reach that limit of being high,
like there's no more higher you can get.
You can't. That's where people misconstrue.
Like you basically just start falling asleep at that point.
Yeah, disagree.
Yeah, you know, man.
Explain.
There's actually science behind what I'm saying. There's science behind the fact that you can only reach a certain level of highness. Now, this is the thing, though. If you want to sustain that level of highness, you have to continue smoking. But it doesn't mean that you're going to get more high than that. Now, this is exactly why I said that this is not including fucking with the THC level. Like when you're on some moon rock, you're fucking with the THC level. So when you fuck with the THC level, that's when you can get higher.
Okay. We're talking about smoking flower.
Yeah.
Cured.
Cured. Yeah, just regular flower.
Okay. All right. I withdraw objections.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're doing the straight like freebase weed, fucking dabs, oils, carts, anything like that, dude, like there you can get like
you can get fucking really high.
I think what it is, you can get scary high.
I think what it is, it's you get really high really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
dude. I scared the shit out of myself driving over to do one of these podcasts a while back, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I took a pull off of something, and that. It was one of those times where it was like, oh, I can totally see why some people don't like to drive and smoke. Yeah. Personally, I think it makes me a more conscientious driver, more aware of the individual motions of the drivers around me. Like it becomes, people don't like to necessarily hear this, but gamified in a way, man, where it's like, oh, I'm trying to like.
It also just makes you a much nicer driver.
Yeah, you're more courteous. That's where I was going.
If they cut you off, you're like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know the only other thing that I didn't like when I was really high, my hearing sense would become really sensitive.
Yeah.
So I felt, I don't know if this is true or not, but I felt that I could hear everything. Like everything.
I feel you.
So like I would, any little noise I would be like, so like if you're driving, that's not a good fucking idea.
Yeah, the other thing is very high doses of pot in whatever form you're taking it can cause auditory hallucinations.
Yeah.
Like not like major, like that's one of the reasons that it can. I'm assuming that it could probably contributes to the schizophrenic trigger. Is that it's
part of that noia.
Yeah, you get one of those little incidents and then that kind of cascades. That's an assumption on my part, but like I do know auditory hallucinations are possible. I've had them. It scared the shit out of me. It's also been goofy at times because I kept hearing somebody call my name. I was like, what the fuck?
So then that scene is...
You guys ever have that weird like bad trip on weed where you're like, fuck this, I'm never smoking this again. Like I'm turning my life around.
Yeah. The very first time I vaporized it.
Yeah.
The very, very first time I vaporized weed.
Was it how was it vaporized?
It was this little machine that looked like a miniature stove. And then
you put a bag to it?
Yeah, you put a bag to it, and then you got these hoses.
Yeah.
And this was my mistake, right? I didn't know how this thing worked. Okay? Nobody explained to me. So let me explain something. When you light a blunt, because that's what I was used to smoking, blunts, I was a blunt person. So you, and then you fill your lungs with smoke, and when your lungs are filled with smoke, that's when your lungs tell you, hey bro, we can't take no more. You gotta exhale.
Yeah, that's how you pass out.
Exactly. So So when I hit this fucking vaporizer, they turned it on and they're like, it needs to heat. And then my friend gave us the green light. We're gonna take a hit. So I saw everybody do this shit, like, and I grabbed it and I was like, but it never, my lungs never got filled. Like they never ever got filled. So I just kept going and going and going, and then finally my friend, he was like, "Hey man, stop!" And I was like, "No, hold on, I can still do it." He's like, "No, you can't," and I was like, "Yeah, I can." So I kept doing it, and then within 5 minutes, I just remember falling back, and I was looking at the ceiling, the roof was spinning, I was seeing colors, and I kept hearing Bob Marley in the background. And I was like, dude, that's my jam right there. Can you hire it higher because it sounds really far away? They were like, what are you talking about? There's no radio in the fucking... We're in the garage. There's no radio here. And I was like, dude, it's Bob Marley in the background. You know what I mean?
Right,
so I kept hearing that song, Three Little Birds. And the chorus repeating, you know what I'm saying?
And at that point, where you were like, "Nah, fuck this."
No. I that was fun. It wasn't till 3 hours passed.
The song started playing backwards.
And I 3 hours passed, and I was still that high, and I didn't know that 3 hours had passed. I thought it was 5 minutes. So like. That's when I told my friend, I was like, dude, I don't want to be high anymore. Like this isn't a high anymore. This is a job. Like,
yo, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, I was
you start sounding like that kid from Pinocchio. We're like, nah, dude, nah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, this is not fun anymore. This is no. I kept telling my friend, I was like, dude, I want to get on high. How do I get on high? He's like, dude, just write it out. And I was like, no, I don't want to write it out anymore. Yeah. And then I remember saying, like, I'm never smoking again. But it was when I vaporized that shit.
Little PSA to any of the audience that has ever gotten too high or might in the future get too high. If you're planning to go for heroic doses, take yourself a CBD supplement with you because the CBD will counteract the THC.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Dude, this is what we're finding out now that this shit is fucking free and legal because,
now they're able to do studies on it.
You got a bunch of fucking stupid people showing up to the ER going, I think my heart's about to pound out of my chest or fucking...
Bro, yeah, man. My ex-wife used to work at an ER. Well, she still does. And she would always have all these fucking idiots, especially like some of these winter Texans would come down. Old-ass people getting way too high. And they're like, oh, shit, for sure, I'm having a heart attack. I've already had one. This is what it feels like. And it's like, no, dude, you're just way too high.
Just relax, enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell them. Enjoy it, man.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Enjoy it.
I mean, for them, it's like spring break. Dude.
See,
they
now
come down here.
That would be another advantage to say, these are the little things along the way, man. If they at the very least, federally moved it down to class 2, they would be able to use it for medical supplementation. Like
that's not even, that shouldn't even be an argument, man. The only argument
with some people, that is the argument, though.
Like
that was the argument with Texas when they moved in these new weed laws.
Dude, I want to know what happened to that fucking conservative Christian dude from up near Dallas, and he was
that was saying that there's no fucking medical way. Like there's
no, not that dude. I'm talking about the one that he was like, I think we need to make it legal because God said every plant with a seed. And I was like, I'm on board with you, brother. Amen.
I don't know about this God stuff, but hey, bro, I like weed too.
Hey, man, I like some of Jesus's writings. Yeah. I'm a fan. But, hey, as long as you're not trying to teach the kids that we're descended from mud statues made by a creator deity. That's all I'm asking for you, man. That's all I'm asking.
Explain the science.
I just said, what I don't agree with or whatever, or my only argument with it is like, it's very simple. Alcohol is perfectly legal, and there's thousands of deaths.
And we're very irresponsible with it in certain ways, and we're too restrictive in others.
Even at that, man, like you can be irresponsible with weed, and tell me somebody that has died.
on weed.
Okay, now here is something that
There's been weed related deaths, but not like.
Well, okay, they're taking metrics on accidents.
Show me a direct link to a weed related death.
Well, here's the argument. Every time you get the numbers that say there are more people in states where it is regularly available that are showing up in car accidents with marijuana in their system.
But there was something else.
But yes, that's what gets left out of the story. But here's the thing: there are what contributing factors when you mix, say, alcohol and marijuana.
Right here.
But that comes from alcohol.
Traffic deaths.
No. But it's when you mix alcohol and marijuana, there is a certain ratio there where you hit it just right, man, and that you are, you're going for a ride. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if you were to remove the alcohol, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have that outcome. That's what I'm saying.
I would argue it might be an educational thing. As you said, every substance has its place. You know what I mean? And clearly, when somebody's to that point where they're just like, it's like, fuck it, we're going for
look
broke
at that
tonight.
one. How many people have died from weed?
Where? That's
all the way at the bottom.
That's not a credible source. That's a treatment center trying to get people off weed.
Oh,
it's not a. There's no real numbers there. It's just like, hey, let's clean your life up.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But the CDC, like
that is a thing, by the way. There are people that are now. Granted, it may be a psychological addiction rather than a physical one necessarily, but there are definitely people that are.
I've
becoming.
Now let's kind of simplify this, and I think everybody in this room can agree to this. Even if you were to compare the deaths from marijuana to the deaths of alcohol, they're never going to compare. And my only point is that alcohol is perfectly legal.
Oh, that's a fair point, yeah.
Yeah, I see that. But did you know that marijuana resin is actually extremely cancerous?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. So if you look at
a lot of people, and this is why people,
a lot more cancerous than cigarettes.
I want to put that disclaimer out there. This is why you shouldn't be fucking cheap and be smoking roaches. Never smoke.
But you get resin from any sort of, even from pipe use and from
man,
use.
That's
the only clear way.
But that's why you should clean your pipe and your bong.
But even
it's just there is a practice of holding on to the resin and smoking it afterwards.
I get it.
A tip just makes less resin go into your system, like the filters.
Yeah. I get it, man, but it's like
from what they say, the safest way is just vaporizing or a bong.
Yeah.
And you're also burning paper if you're rolling joints or
there's like the binding or the bonding chemicals for the paper.
But honestly, man, like it's like everything else.
Yeah.
You're gonna take some risk when you do anything. Like when you take Tylenol, when you smoke weed, when you do cocaine.
Yeah.
There's a risk. All I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to advocate.
Yeah.
If you don't use marijuana, I'm not telling you to start using it. I'm just saying if you're already using it.
Well, to be fair, you started off the conversation saying everybody should do it.
Well, no. But hold on, don't misconstrue what I said.
Play back that tape.
Hold
on. No, I know what I said.
You said everybody.
What I said was everybody should smoke a little bit of weed, and then what I said right after that was. It would be awesome, and I think it would be helpful if they would use it in a controlled dose, like a Tylenol. That's exactly what the fuck I said.
You're sounding like a politician now.
I didn't.
Cue the musical score. Let a little bit of bud in your life.
Just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. I can't wait till they legalize that shit.
But the CDC has like these but also the CDC is kind of biased.
Yeah, it is.
But they're like
they err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Sometimes that information gets used very politically, though, and that I don't think there's anybody there taking that into account necessarily.
I also think there's not enough research on marijuana to make a solid decision on saying, hey, it's super safe, or hey, it's not that safe.
I think they have to. But again, we go back to the same argument. how long, and I know you're probably going to slightly disagree with me on this, but how long was Tylenol and Motrin researched
Yeah.
and alcohol researched before they were made commercially available?
But you can't compare them, and there's ways that people have compared them, but I don't think it's a fair comparison
Why not?
to compare marijuana and alcohol because they affect different parts of your body. They
still
touch,
impairs your judgment.
they touch on similar things, but they do different things to
Well,
your
here's
body.
the thing, though, man.
but it impairs your judgment overall.
Motrin?
No, man, marijuana.
Oh,
Marijuana and alcohol. You're talking about marijuana and alcohol.
That's a slippery argument, man, because there are certain cases in which marijuana, as I was saying earlier about driving, it does make you, at low doses, makes you a little more conscientious because you're kind of, that's where the paranoia kind of kicks in. You're a little bit more aware of your physical surroundings, of your body, and in turn of the vehicle you're driving.
Not for everybody, and you said that.
Some people get a little too high and shit gets slippery.
Yeah.
Again, I have done that before. I've started to leave somewhere and got behind the wheel and went, nope, this ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to stick around for a little while. Again, this is where the CBD supplement would come into effect. I only found out about that recently. I was listening to a conversation on a podcast somewhere, and they were talking about it may have been Church What's Happening Now.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, if you've listened to some of those recently, Diaz has been talking about cutting back on his
weed intake. Yeah.
Well, because he's getting old.
Tell that to Tommy Chong.
Yeah, Tommy Chong.
Well, granted, Tommy's a little loose these days, man. I've listened to some conversations with him where he just like kind of goes off on a little, just laughing at his own jokes, and you're like, oh, that's good. You're still here, man.
That dementia's starting to hit him.
I don't think it's dementia, man.
Yeah,
I think it's just
You think he
Just
smoked so
fog.
much weed that he's reached a new level of like the fuckets?
a little bit, possibly.
Okay.
Either that or he's been hanging with Snoop for too long.
I think Snoop already hit like level 12 fuckets. You know?
I will say this: I have very rarely seen a public. I've seen a couple of his podcast episodes, but with Snoop.
Yeah.
But I've very rarely seen a public interview with him where he has been incoherently high.
Yeah,
If that
like
makes
he's never been incoherently high.
Yeah, I don't think.
that I know of. I've never seen him either.
Yeah, I don't.
He's babbled a little bit on his own, in his own program, but like that's just because he's with the guests. They're fucking smoking and fucking just getting. More often than not, he gets them incoherently
you're right.
high.
You're right. He was actually talking to I forget her fucking name. He was talking to some chick, and he asked her a question, and then the chick blanked out because they were both smoking, and she was like really high. And of course, Snoop was high, but she was like way higher.
Right.
And he asked her a question, right?
Talking to the microphone, buddy.
He asked her a question, and then she was just staring at him, and then she looked back at Snoop, and they were staring at each other.
He just forgot his own question.
And then she was like, so, and Snoop was like, yeah. And then you can hear the producer or somebody in the background. They were like, he looked at the girl. He's like, Snoop asked you a question, and then she was like, oh yeah, he asked me a question, and then Snoop turned around and she's like, I asked a question. I just did that. So, and you could, all I'm saying is, in his face, you can genuinely see that he forgot that he had asked a question.
Yeah.
Like, you genuinely saw that shit. Right. But then again, dude, you could also see in his eyes and in his face that he was gone. Like, he was really high. Really, really high.
Well, you guys ever watch?
Higher than normal. Higher than Snoop normal is what I'm saying.
What's his name? Benson, man. Getting Doug with High.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's my favorite That's my favorite YouTube show.
Dude, Benson's one of those guys who's not afraid to kind of just go real fucking deep. I've seen a couple of the episodes where he's like, yeah, I'm not going to get quite so high on this one. And then, a couple episodes later, boom.
Did you ever see the Jack Black one?
Yeah,
where Jack Black got way too high and was like freaking out.
I don't remember the freak out, but I do remember watching the episode.
He was like always like, it wasn't a freak out, like a freak out, but he was like on the verge of like, no, I don't want to freak out. I don't want to freak out. Because apparently he's not smoking weed
Right.
anymore. Like he's just like full on adult now. So he's just like, but he was gonna smoke weed with Doug Benson for the first time in like years. So it was.
I gotta go back and rewatch that one then.
Yeah. He talked about it. He was like he used to back in the day when he was with when he took Tenacious D, when he was full on Tenacious D. And then like afterwards he mentioned that after that like he kind of just weaned off.
Right on. Since
The one that did scare me a little bit was when Joey was on Rogan's podcast.
the recent one.
No. This was a couple of them back, but they were smoking a blunt. It was him, Joe, and somebody else. I don't remember who the third person was, not including Jamie.
Ari?
No. But they were smoking a blunt, and it was a fat blunt of like some really good shit. Rogan hit it about 5-6 times, and he got high, right? So they were passing it around, they were smoking whatever, and then the other person that I forgot who it was got really high too, and you could tell that Joey was high too, cause you can tell like when Joey gets in that zone, but he was still functional. So this is what tripped me out. He was already like really high. Whatever they were smoking, it was real good quality. Then Joey took they're called Death Stars.
Yeah.
They're 500 milligrams of THC each, bro. Each. And this dude took 3 at once. And he just like chunked them. And you just hear Joe in the background. Did you just take 3? And then he's like, how many milligrams are they? They're 500 each. And then he's like, whoa, Joey, I'm curious, man. What's going to happen? And Joey Diaz just turns around and he's like, oh, I'm just going to sleep like a baby. That's all that's going to happen. So, yeah, man.
Some people can
Fucking
handle
1,500 milligrams of THC, bro, in your body at once.
Dude, I remember motherfuckers that used to eat the brownies like nothing, man. Just handfuls of them.
Dude, I've never eaten like marijuana and had
You've
it.
never had a brownie?
No. I've eaten a lot of edibles, but they've just put me to sleep. I've never like got a high from it.
Dude.
Really?
I slept really good, but I never like.
What was the dosage you typically?
I took about like.
And what form?
They were mainly gummies. I've had baked edibles, but the same thing. But the mainly just gummies. I like fucking with the gummies. But there was at one point where I took like 25 milliliter like milligram THC gummies.
Mm-hmm.
And
25?
Yeah, 25 milliliter. And nothing, dude. I fucking
dude.
fell asleep.
Yeah, dude, you took a high fucking dose. I was actually going to say,
Yeah.
man, I think 20, if you're going to get into edibles,
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. Comic was passing through town and he palmed me a 25 milligram, man. And I kind of held on to it for a bit and I did something to my knee and I was like, this is a good enough excuse. That was a beautiful afternoon, man. I passed out for a little bit with an ice pack on my knee, woke up feeling fucking brand new and fancy, man. I just bouncing around getting shit done.
Nice, dude.
It wasn't necessarily a
Like a psychedelic.
like you were saying about just let me hit the
Yeah.
tip of the joint. You know what I mean? Just get a little, take one hit off the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's the best. You may get arguments. I mean, there is the option of the heroic dose, but I think for most things, take a taste. You know what I mean? Like if somebody goes, here, try this, say, I'll have a taste. Don't let them serve you up a full glass of some new brew that you ain't never tried before.
Yeah.
I just think that
I thought you were about like, no, I'm hedonism all the way.
No. I've never done well with edibles. I've only tried edibles 3 times, 2 times, 2 or 3 times, no more than 3 for sure. Every single time I've had a bad experience. Bad experience in the way that, you know how you were talking about earlier, about like with people that smoke like sativas, that they start to panic and trip out and hear shit and feel shit. That's what happened when I ate a brownie, and
Yeah.
I didn't even eat the whole brownie. I literally ate about a quarter of it.
Mm.
I ate a quarter, and then
These
I
are
would
commercial or homemade?
homemade. They were
Mm.
homemade. So I ate a quarter of it, and I was sitting on the couch. I was fine at first. I got really lightheaded, which I did not have a problem with that.
Mm.
It actually felt good to be lightheaded for a little bit. But then after that was when it was horrible. I knew that I was just tripping. I knew that because I was on marijuana, right? Because I knew that. But the sensation of 1,000 crawling spiders on my body,
Yeah.
was like so real. And I
And you
had,
got that off marijuana?
yeah.
I know people that get that off meth, dude.
No, I've
Well,
never
here's the thing.
tried that.
Freddie, I know we've talked about this, man, but the edibles are metabolized
Yeah,
by the liver
different.
to a substance that is hallucinogenic.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Visual, auditory, full-on hallucinations.
Yeah,
Close your eyes.
What is
and-
it called? There's a name for it, and it's because it's metabolized through your liver, and there's a chemical in your liver that mixes with the THC, and it creates that chemical. But yeah, like I felt like 1,000 spiders, like, and I literally felt them to the point that I kept staring at my arms because I thought that I was gonna eventually see one. Like I'm gonna see, and then I started to feel them on my neck, and that's when I lost it. Like I got up the couch and I was pacing back and forth, and my friend was having the time of his life. He was fucking playing Madden and shit. And I was panicking, and I was like, never again will I have an edible.
It's definitely one of those. It's almost like mushrooms in that once you get an idea in your head.
I've never.
Well,
tried.
what I'm saying is similar in the sense that when you get on a train of thought and it kind of starts, escalating and perpetuating,
Yeah.
where it's like, what about this? What about this? Like you can just like run that straight into a the bad place where you're just kind of questioning all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And that, like you were saying earlier about the one trip where it's like, fuck, this is this is my life now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this has become a job.
Yeah, like when am I gonna be normal again?
I never had a trip like that on psychedelics or marijuana, but I've seen people freak out like on those substances, and it's like it always hits me like, oh shit, like I kind of want to be there where they're at, just because that trip
No,
seems pretty cool sometimes.
I guarantee you don't. It's scary.
Yeah, but sometimes
Would you like to just think about it? What if you really had
like if I-
a lot of spiders all over you?
if I'm feeling adventurous and I'm on vacation or something, I kind of want to have a scary trip. I want to have a trip that's gonna like show me something.
Very soon here, we're going to have the technology to essentially give you the same neural stimulation that somebody going through that experience would feel.
Oh, no joke.
Yeah, man.
Are they they're doing it through like like VR and?
Well, it's like they can already do that shit where they put electrodes on certain parts of your head and can cause like sensations. Like you can close your eyes and they can trigger like different colors.
Oh, no joke.
I think there's one where they can trigger like smells.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you a Black Mirror fan, or do you watch Black Mirror?
I want to say the second season was the last one I saw.
Oh, okay. You never saw they have this running device that's been featured on a lot of the episodes, where it's something like that. It's like a little like magnet that you stick on your temple, and it starts sending these pulses, creating you a virtual reality.
Yeah, that's probably coming very quickly.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? They might hit one of those walls, kind of like virtual reality itself, where for a long time they did not have the screen technology and nobody was producing new advancements in the field. But once you kind of got one homebrew set together, all of a sudden and the smartphone technology as well led to led to better screens, better touch screen technology, and yada yada. So something like that is probably going to occur with the whole neural link and stuff.
Have y'all ever noticed that Mario and Luigi do drugs?
Yeah, they do mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they also intake stars.
They intake stars. I'm thinking maybe that's acid. They're really like on a psychedelic trip where they're imagining animals humanized.
And then that psychedelic trip takes them to an actual trip.
Yeah.
To the biggest star on the planet, and they conquer the world, and they save.
I think maybe you need to revisit the Mario franchise.
Why?
I don't think they take over the world.
Wait.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought Mario was the one where he wore a lab coat and stacked pills. Am I thinking of? Oh wait, that's Dr. Mario.
That's
Never
Dr.
mind.
Mario. You're wearing a Mario T-shirt, my friend. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Of course, I am fucking with you.
Yeah, but they throw turtles around. And
yeah, dude, they like
that video game is just one big ass trip.
Well, you ever read up on the whole thing where he fucking punches Yoshi in the back of the head to get him to do the whole tongue?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking
or the
animal
masochistic, dude.
Or the double jump thing where basically you can jump with Yoshi and then jump off his back to like
and you just
reach
ditch
safety.
Yoshi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fuck Yoshi.
There's an argument to be made that there's a great channel on YouTube called Game Theorist.
The Game Theory, dude.
Yeah,
I love that guy's channel.
Wait,
well, what is it called?
Game Theories. Game
Damn,
Theorist.
dude.
And this guy like completes the games and he breaks down like the theories for the popular theories and what he came across in the game.
What? I need to watch that.
Yeah, if you're ever bored on a Saturday, it's a great way to waste some time. But,
I like it when he does like the horror games.
But he's got the running joke about Mario being a sociopath.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And Luigi secretly being a wealthy pimp.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a wealthy ladies man.
Yeah, man. I was noticing because I was playing Super Mario the other day.
Yeah.
Because I was bored and I couldn't sleep, and I got writer's block, so I started to play, and then I got to the star level, and then I started to realize what it took for me to get to the star level, like what I had to acquire in the game. And then everything hit me. I was like, the first thing that hit me was like, I just now realized that this is one big psychedelic trip.
You're one of those people that had to have Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds explained to you, aren't you?
Oh my god.
No, man, that song.
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. That one and the Yellow Submarine and the other one,
Octopus's Garden.
Octopus's Garden. Oh my god.
Yellow Submarine and Octopus's Garden, Ringo Starr wrote. And Ringo Starr is the creepiest fucking songwriter ever, bro.
But hold on.
Yeah.
To the Beatles.
I'll defend Yellow Submarine. It's
no, they're good. I like Octopus's Garden. But
I like all of them.
it's fucking weird, bro. And it's almost like creepy and Willy Wonka sinister.
Hold on.
I'll give you that.
Do you know... To the Beatles' defense, John Lennon.
Nobody was attacking them.
John Lennon and it wasn't Paul McCartney. It was John Lennon and fucking Ringo Starr. They openly said that before he didn't name the songs, but apparently, as listeners, we can tell he didn't name the songs. But he said that sometimes they would go on a solitary psychedelic trip, like of acid, mushrooms, sometimes acid and mushrooms.
Right.
And they would go on this trip for days, and then they would literally write songs while on that trip. And long story short, they said that those songs came to be. So then I go back to my original point. Yellow Submarine, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Then it made sense. I was like, okay.
I mean, but if you notice, there's a lot of bands during that time that were doing that similar thing, like The Who.
But not like the Beatles, bro.
I mean, different because they're different bands, but it was like almost like a trend at that point.
Yeah,
Let's go to India. Let's go
Yeah.
do a whole bunch of drugs and let's
Yeah.
just go fucking play on sitars and make
And
psychedelic
then,
music.
Well, here's the thing, man. Pink Floyd is a great example of one of the bands that like had different effects at different points in time, which I think the
Yeah.
argument could be made for the Beatles as well. But Sid Barrett, in the my understanding was in the music scene, made a big fucking impact as far as influence very quickly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and if you've ever listened to Sid Barrett's music, it
His solo or with the Pink
both
Floyd?
the
Yeah.
stuff that he was involved
Oh,
in
yeah.
writing, not just lyrically but like stylistically, was
Yeah.
very surreal, very
It almost, I think it influenced. There's a lot of noise pop bands that are like that state, like Pink Floyd and Sid Barrett being, or the television personalities being like influences, and you could see how he almost even influenced like independent, like indie pop music, just rock pop music in general.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out the way Freddy slammed that thing down.
Sorry.
No, I was like, damn it, I'm out. That's
Um,
addictive personality.
Yes. So I want to, since we're kind of sort of on the subject, because I like to listen here to
Should
different-
musicians be force fed drugs? Occasionally.
Fuck yeah, no. Don't leave him an ounce of daylight sober, dude.
Yeah, I said occasionally.
what
you do is you sneak into their house and you drop some drugs off,
Yeah.
and then every once in a while you come in and clean all the drugs out.
Yo, did you guys hear about? There's this episode of Black Mirror
Hmm?
that is based off of the Britney Spears story, and it's
Which one?
Britney Spears being drugged and controlled through her like publicists, her managers, and stuff like that because they're giving her drugs to like inebriate her and like
Just to influence the way she was.
yeah, dude. Like
Yeah,
they
okay.
just really controlled her by like saying, "Hey, you know what? You have something wrong with you. Don't worry. We have a doctor, and that doctor is going to prescribe you pills to help you out." And it was really pills to just control her.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm assuming.
Well, there was rumors.
Yeah.
There was rumors that recently when Kanye had that initial breakdown in 2016,
Mhm.
that those were the rumors that he was being given pills.
I think it's a common
to
trend
being,
with like popular,
controlled or
yeah,
whatever.
with artists in general, dude, that make it to that
Yeah.
that level, you know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a reasonable argument for like why we need a little more education around, say, substance use in general. Man, my understanding with Kanye was he had an issue with painkillers after the car accident, right?
Yeah,
And then coming off of that, and having to get off of those, probably, I mean, the kind of experience you get after like coming off of a substance addiction, where it's, I mean, Freddie, you could probably speak to this, man. Just like the clarity that kind of comes on you, where you get a little bit more self assurance, where you're like, nah, fuck it, I'm on the right direction now, feeling better, blah blah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I could totally see somebody who already has maybe some personality traits. I don't know if you could necessarily peg him with narcissism, but there's
Yeah.
definitely something.
But I
along
think
those
that
lines.
has always been part of his personality. But I think
Right.
that the drugs did.
I could see though.
enhance that.
I could see though how like coming off of those drugs would spike like manic states in his personality, because I mean, especially opiates. Once you're coming off opiates like that's
Right.
really painful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're getting
It's
not
like-
only a manic state, but you have that, you can point. You go, look, man, my willpower got me off of this and that. Like I'm.
Oh, like once
Like-
you make it past that hell, like those hell 2 weeks where
When-
you're like you're off, like
When
you're
you start building up that
yeah,
that
Okay,
fucking
okay.
the ego, basically,
yeah.
like the self image and the self assurance, like all right,
Well, your brain. I think your brain is like finally thinking straight and not being influenced by drugs. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well,
that
that's what
can-
he was. That's what he was
Oh,
trying
okay.
to point out.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not saying he wasn't necessarily getting
Yeah.
a level of clarity, but when you take that and add, say, a manic state or a delusional state,
That's
in
what
the sense
that's what
of,
I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was I do believe that he did have a moment of clarity when he was like coming off. I feel, again, this is just my opinion. I feel that I feel that he already had something that he was like chemically unbalanced. So I think that that had an influence to his reaction
Yeah.
of coming to that clarity. Like me, when I came off of like substance abuse and alcohol abuse, like I I didn't have that chemical imbalance, like like whatever it was, because people can have different shit, but whatever it was that he had. So my clarity was just like it was clear, and I'm thankful that I was able in a major way. I was able to escape in a major way, like cleanly. Like I didn't have any after. The only thing that I do feel that it did affect me, like the drug use and the alcohol use for a very extended period of time, was my memory. My memory's not good, and I have noticed that, like when I came off like the drugs and the alcohol use, like my memory is shit. Like I've like not really bad, like not Dory type, but like
Let me ask
my
you this,
short
man.
term memory is very.
Have you already started fucking around with the intermittent fasting?
Yeah,
How long have you been trying it?
I want to say about like
The whole 16-hour regimen?
yeah, like about a month.
Okay. Have you noticed any difference cognitively?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I'm more clear minded, and like for example, an example that I can give you is like my critical thinking. Like if I have an issue, like right now I have like a lot of issues like outside of work and with shit that I have to deal with. Like it allows me to think of like, okay, if I were to do this, this is gonna trigger that, and that's gonna trigger that, and it's not gonna give me a very good outcome. As opposed to before, I was kind of more like, well, this is gonna trigger that, and that's gonna trigger that. But fuck it might not. So let's try it anyway.
Gotcha.
Now I can kind of decipher things and think about it. And I feel that my brain processes the information differently, like completely differently. So that's why I feel that I can understand like with clarity. And I think that I'm not sure like how to explain this.
Sacred secretion. What the fuck are you looking up, man?
Yeah, you guys were talking about mental clarity. There's this thing that's
I
happening.
just see a little ass on the screen and it's fucking with me.
Is this some pineal gland shit?
It's kind of like it, dude. People have found that there is relation to the Bible and your mental health and your mental state. So they even found this sort of like oil that secretes down your spine and goes back up to your brain from the pineal gland.
What's this oil?
This oil is like a milky. They call it the Klaus serum, and let me see if I can find more on it. But it's like it's basically like you secrete this oil every like month, I say, and the more healthy you are, like the more oil gets secreted down and comes back up, and it creates this almost euphoric like bondingness with like the world. And then
I see what you're
the
saying.
more unhealthy you are, the less this oil comes out. Some people don't even have any oil coming down.
I believe that.
Was somebody massaging your shoulders, ego, or penis while they were describing this to you?
No. This is like a lot of people that practice Hinduism or Krishna or any form of like Eastern philosophy. They believe in this, and it's also like a lot of people who are. I'm not sure if they're like what's it called, Christian scientists, or those Christian people that don't go to the hospitals.
Yeah,
Right.
I know what you're saying.
Those people believe in this too, and it's like I think there's what like 20, there's 30 some spine, there's 30 some discs, or I don't know how many spine vertebrates there are in your back, but they relate that to the number of years that Christ was alive, or the number of years, or
Whoa, I hadn't heard that one.
And it goes down, and the reason they called it the Klaus serum is because back in the day when they found out about, they found out about this.
Some dude named Klaus was like, "Hey, I found a serum."
Well, they found out about it, and they got Santa Claus going down the chimney from this. Like it's weird. Like and if you want to look it up, it's like
So,
Oh man, this sounds like I got my next weekend planned out.
dude, it's just
so,
it's
so,
a trip, dude.
quick question, so we can kind of cap off that part of the conversation.
Cap it off. I just opened new doors.
But why were you asking about the intermittent fasting?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you were talking about memory, man. I was wondering if because I noticed a lot more, a lot of stuff.
Are
Where
you doing it now?
No, I am off.
Oh.
I am off track a lot. I mean, right now I'm probably running at about maybe 16 hours between the last time I ate, but that's just something I intermittently fast.
Yeah, I got you. The reason that I'm asking is because, I got a pain. The reason that I'm asking is because I have noticed a positive like difference, and I like it. I also like the fact that, like, I think I told you this before the last time you asked me the same question. My energy, bro, like the energy ever since I've been doing the intermittent fasting, like it's different. Like I have energy for everything.
I got you.
Like, and I see it more so in the gym. So now what I'm trying to figure out, and I don't think reading is doing enough to convince me. So I'm curious to kind of experiment, or maybe if y'all know more information about it than I do, and y'all can enlighten me. But what I'm trying to figure out now is if I can do intermittent fasting like a lifestyle,
Well,
and if I could just stick to that for the rest of my life
if you look at
without having negative repercussion later.
I think it like there's plenty of religions that practice like intermittent fasting.
Yeah, but not their whole life.
They
No,
do it
there
for,
are people that only eat like one of I forget. Don't quote me on this, but I believe there's at least one sect of some religion where they try to eat only once a day.
yeah. They have a time hour. A time
But
frame.
but that's every 24 hours. Then that's different.
Also-
Right, but
also
like
Buddhists-
if you give yourself a window, I
Yeah.
mean, pretty much with intermittent fasting, it's like you have that 8 hour window where
Yeah.
What I was
But
gonna
see,
say
the-
what I was
that-
gonna say with that though is like with those religions, and this makes sense to me. It may not make sense to you,
Okay.
but with those religions, they do intermittent fasting as like a practice for their religion because it expresses like mindfulness.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you're being mindful of
You're-
your body.
Yeah. You're absolutely
you're
right.
only really feeding your body when you truly get hungry.
Exactly.
I'll throw this at you. I think the current movement with say intermittent fasting, and this may be true for a lot of say dietary lifestyle type of fads.
Yeah.
You might say, if you were being not so generous, that's the phrase you might use. But I think a lot of this is kind of that search for a discipline,
Yeah.
that you do find in a lot of that old time religion where it's like
Yeah.
you don't fucking eat meat on Friday
like-
and
Like another thing that I want to let people know that I figured out since I've been doing this. I know that I've shared with you before where I told you that I was going to the gym. I lost a lot of weight,
Right.
but then I plateaued, and I believe I stayed at 171 for like 3 weeks
Right.
straight. Like I didn't go up, but I didn't go down, and I plateaued. People told me to change my workout, whatever. I changed it for a week. I still stayed at 171 or whatever. Anyway, my point is that when I started to integrate intermittent fasting, is when I started to drop the weight again quick. So not only did I start dropping weight again, but I noticed my energy level boost. So what I'm saying is, as long as I don't want to cause any problems. So what I'm about to say, I don't want to apply it to anybody that's diabetic or anybody like with some kind of like anything kind of disease. See a doctor first. But if you're like a
We
normal,
are not medical professionals
Yeah.
here at the Bouncing Brains podcast. Do not take our advice as medical advice.
Hey,
These are merely anecdotal suggestions or perhaps musings upon information that
Correct.
we have seen that is available freely online, usually to you. So please explore.
do your
Yeah,
research.
consult the
basically.
professionals at WebMD.
and
As
do,
they always say, you got cancer.
and do your research. But if you're a fairly healthy human being, I'm not a real healthy human being. I mean, aside from the fact that I've been off my blood pressure meds for 3 months, and my blood pressure has been perfect, literally. But like with me, that I'm so kind of healthy. It has helped me to increase my weight loss, and my energy has really boosted. But the only thing about that is that you have to make sure that you stick to that 16-hour window. Because I've noticed that for 2 days I was off, meaning that I went longer without eating, and it did fuck with me a little bit.
How so?
Other than the stomach, my stomach felt weird when I ate again. It didn't take the food right,
Right.
and the energy boost. I felt it significantly.
I
drop.
will say this. I have pushed it. I was doing 18 hours for a while. And
But that's what I was gonna say. That's the main point that I was gonna point out. Perfect example. If you gotten your body used to the 16-hour window, stick to the 16-hour window.
What you're basically saying is when you need to stick to that when
So
you break
whatever
fast.
window, whatever window that you got your body used to, stick to it. Don't switch it on it, because then you're gonna.
I've
feel,
actually come up recently to that conclusion myself, because like mine is very erratic. Like sometimes I'll go 10 hours, sometimes I'll go 6 hours. Sometimes I mean, like it's very erratic. But I do sometimes push it, say, to 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I have come to the conclusion that what I need to start doing is what you're talking about, is when that 16-hour mark or that 18-hour mark, whatever I'm trying to set it at, when that comes up, it's like, well, I'm not hungry. It's like, no, go, get some yogurt, get some fucking whatever it is that you're, eat some avocado, fucking, hell, take a teaspoon of fucking coconut, olive, whatever your favorite oil of choice.
And the other thing that I want to point out as well, Sean made a good point earlier.
I did?
You can pull off a 24-hour period, but something that I want to pull off, that I want to stress about pulling off a 24-hour period, like basically what you were saying, doing one meal a day in a 24-hour period, is you want to make sure, because I've actually researched this like medically wise, so that you don't have any issues. You want to make sure that you at least can eat a minimum of 1,500 calories in one sitting.
Oh, okay.
And you can acquire that easy. Like that's easy to get it.
Oh, dude, when I first got into the intermittent fasting, man, I got real quickly, man, figured out how to pack like damn near 3,000 calories into a meal, man. Bacon grease is your friend.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as you have a minimum of 1,500 calories, and you can have more. I think the limit is up to.
I think that's
21.
I think
believe
that's all
in one
varying
seat.
on your like body type and your energy output.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, minimum is 1,500, and I think for women it's more. But I forgot what that number is.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 1,500 is around like your that's your operating baseline. So yeah.
So that's for like the 24-hour period. When you do the 16-hour period, again, you may do it like our cameraman was mentioning. You may do it for faith reasons. You may do it for weight loss reasons. Like I was saying, the 16-hour period, you want to keep it at a minimal of like between 800 to 1,300 calories, because you're doing 16 hours, and that's if your goal is to drop weight. because if you go 2,000, 2,500,
Yeah.
you're gonna counteract, and then you're not gonna gain weight, but you're not gonna lose weight.
I don't know.
Or I mean, if your point is to stay at a weight that you're already at, then that's what you do. You keep it at 1,500 to 2,500, and you're gonna stay at that weight level or whatever.
But I don't know. I also think like that there's not much like fasting for everybody wouldn't be like a wise option.
Yeah, that's why I said if you're diabetic or if you're
not only that, like if you're
Well,
also
actually, they found fasting can be beneficial in
for
certain-
diabetics.
yeah, but they can't do it for, like, for example, back to the subject that we touched earlier.
Well, if
you can't do it, they can't do it.
the only reason they need
Right.
to eat is
Well-
because they're a different kind of diabetic. It helps with type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes
Right.
is like is the one where your blood sugar is going constantly like down.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's look up some of that because I do recall coming across at least one argument for fasting for type 1 diabetics. I was gonna say the we had the conversation.
Oh, and by the way, last thing I want to throw out there as far as what I said about fasting, when you're fasting and then you're going to consume those 1,500 calories, stay the fuck away from starches. Because if you eat starches in those 1,500 calories, you're going to be in the shitter for a while.
I don't know, man. I've known a lot of people that practice Ramadan, and they go
That
for
practice what?
Ramadan.
What does that mean?
That's where they fast for the Hindu church, the Hindu people,
Okay.
No, Ramadan is Islam.
or Islam.
Okay.
My apologies, but
Uh-huh.
it's Indian. It's Indian.
What? No,
Yeah.
Ramadan is
Muslim. It's Muslim.
Yes,
Right.
Muslim.
It's Muslim. There you
That's
go.
what he
Never mind.
said. Okay.
Okay. Well, they practice that.
We're not going to unpack that right now.
And they and they consume a lot of rice. They consume a lot of rice. They consume a lot of potato.
No, rice is fine.
Rice is a
we
starch.
yeah, but we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
As far as starches, like rice, potatoes, and the other one, right? There's a third one: rice, potatoes.
I'm not sure if
And,
this.
beans, rice, potatoes,
Beans aren't starches.
Bean is considered.
No, it's not. It's a legume, bro. It's different.
considered a
There's
starch.
carbohydrates in the.
You're the one that
yeah.
told me
in
this.
the
No.
When
I
I was
didn't tell
eating,
you.
when I was eating the refried beans.
Yeah, you were eating refried beans, bro. That's like the worst way to consume a bean.
Well,
how so, man?
Huh?
Yeah,
Because
I
you're
disagree with him.
refrying, you're recooking
Other
the
than
bean
the oil,
in
other
grease
than the
and
oil.
oil.
Yeah.
And you're not like, I think part of what helps the bean, I'm not sure, we could look it up later, but I think part of what helps the digestion of the legume is that casing that the bean is in. So if you destroying that casing, crumbling it, I think that
Technically,
defeats
you're not destroying it if you really think about it.
I think we had the conversation on here
You're still
about
going to consume it.
soaking, man. Like
Technically.
you want to,
Yeah.
unless you're doing something beforehand to activate the
only
insoluble starches.
The only
But you're also
problem,
frying it.
The only hold on.
That's
where
a
I-
fair
that-
point.
That's where I was going. The only problem with honestly.
What
the
about a
only-
light saute?
The only problem
Nah,
with
dude,
refried
I mean,
beans.
it tastes delicious. I'm gonna say it, but I don't think there's
Again,
much
bacon fat is your friend.
No.
but I don't think there's much of
The-
like nutritional benefits from refrying the bean. You know,
The only problem with the refried bean
Yeah.
is the oil. So
that's a big problem,
No,
you know?
hold on. That's what I'm gonna explain. So the way to kind of get away from that, and I'm saying this because I don't like whole beans. That's why. So the way to get away from that is you can use olive oil. And the only reason that olive oil is supposedly healthier, because it's really not healthier. The only reason that olive oil is different
Yeah.
is because olive oil is the only oil that your body actually like throws out.
yeah.
And it doesn't throw it out completely, but it throws out
But
most
I'm gonna
of it.
tell you this, dude. Like, there's a lot of good, healthy oils. But
Yeah, like coconut oil as well.
but the way that they make the oils is unhealthy. Like, a better choice for oils. I mean, and I don't do this because I'm not like this hardcore about my health. But from what I've heard
I can tell.
with people in spiritual, like, that are their health is tied to their spirituality, is making the oil yourself. Like, why don't you just take the coconut, crush it down into the oil?
Ain't nobody got that fucking time.
It's not. It doesn't take that long, from what they say. And I've seen videos where them doing it. It doesn't take that long.
Coconut oil, first of all, not great for everything.
And it's not the healthiest either. A lot of people say that it's really...
It depends on your diet.
Yeah, like dousing everything in coconut oil is not like... It's not good for your heart.
Coconut oil is good in like coffee and shit.
That would be something to keep it away from. I mean, coconut oil, I say like for cooking and stuff like that. But
Again, this all depends on your health and your diet.
Yeah. Because coconut oil is actually like it's a lot.
But I'm sorry. I didn't mean coconut oil. I meant the other one. The coconut. It's
there's a lot
You're
of
talking
negatives.
about that MTC oil.
I don't know much about that. Do you guys know much about the MCT oil?
No.
They spin out the long chain. What is? Oh no, sorry. The mid something chain triglyceride. Oh yeah. Mid chain triglycerides. MCT. Where it's supposed to be more useful for metabolism.
I heard it helps with brain function too.
Yeah. I've heard
Well, yeah,
that
your
too.
brain. That's one reason I keep stressing in these conversations we're having about diet and whatnot. You cannot throw out the cholesterol from your diet. You need healthy cholesterol in your diet.
Yeah.
As much as you need
I
clean
agree.
starches.
But the one that you don't need, that I wasn't arguing with you about it, but we were having a discussion of, is the LDL. You need cholesterol, but you can get cholesterol from like the egg and shit like that. But that was the argument that I was making.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you have an egg, like me, for example, that I was used to having like 8 eggs at once.
Right.
I can't have the 8 eggs with the yolk every day.
I don't think we really got to it, and this is you brought up at one point you were taking pills to moderate regulate your cholesterol levels.
Yeah. They were called Crescitor.
Right, but your body's own system is what regulates the levels. It's not a direct line of what you take in. Now, granted, you can say be starved for good cholesterol, and your body will start to use the other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is one reason, like, most times you can get away. I notice it sometimes with potato chips. There are certain brands of chips I can't eat because the next day I feel like shit in the morning because the body just like the oil.
You really like potato chips, huh?
I do, dude. I can kill a family size bag.
Yeah, I can totally see.
Yeah, I gotta maintain.
Everybody's got like
prohibition.
Like with your friends or family or whatever. Everybody's got that one thing that they love, and that's something that I figured out rather quickly with Sean. Sean likes potato chips, bro. But like he really fucking likes potato chips.
Who doesn't like potato chips, bro?
No, you
That's
don't.
a good argument.
See, you're.
It's like the old Dave Chappelle joke about if you don't like chicken and watermelon, something wrong with you.
Your comment and argument, like exactly shows how you don't understand like how much he likes potato chips.
Yeah, you have a potato chip tattoo on your body somewhere.
No.
Then that one I would argue that you don't like them enough.
I do have myself branded with my vices, but that's not one of them. That's more of my my arch nemesis
like
than
you
my
know
vice.
you know what I was addicted to, and I'm still addicted to now. I just don't eat them because of the lifestyle I'm having.
Gummy worms.
No, man.
Pizza, bro.
Oreos, dude.
Oh no, fuck that.
Oreos and Reese's, dude. Or I used to get. Check it out. See, I made my mouth water again. Check it out, man. I used to get really high. But I mean like really fucking high when I used to get home from work. And these were my munchies. I would get a whole pack of Oreos with milk and I would eat that shit. And at the same time, I would pop open a bag of Cool Ranch Buffalo Doritos.
Damn.
That was the most delicious high
You fuck
snack.
with the Cool Ranch Doritos, dude?
No. Listen to what I said. Buffalo.
I heard the
Cool Ranch.
qualifier there.
Buffalo Cool, but dude,
Yeah.
that's yucky, dog.
Hell no. Look them up, bro. They're delicious, bro.
Yucky is a subjective term, sir.
Okay, they're not my kind of chip, bro.
Bro, they're fucking delicious.
I'm more of like a potato chip. I'm not really
See,
about the.
and
I'm not really
partic-
about the flour chip or the corn, like the
Have
corn
y'all-
chip. No, like the potato chip though, like the 1 minute, like the Lay's,
All right,
Lay's
okay.
Pringles. You know,
I was
like
gonna say a thin slice, like
Yeah.
a fried. The Pringles are
Yeah.
what, baked.
even the
No.
baked
Baked
ones.
Lay's are,
If
are not bad.
if I'm gonna have potato chips, bro, they would have to be Lay's.
Yeah.
I'm not a potato chip person, but if I'm gonna get potato, they have to be Lay's, and they have to be the original ones.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Cape Cod kettle chips, man.
Oh.
Those
Nah.
are. I'll tell you what.
the baked ones you're saying?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
the
nah.
the
No,
baked-
no, no. The kettle chips,
chips.
man. The kettle fried chips. The fucking real like thick crunchy ones.
That's why those
those
are.
aren't baked, dog. Those
No,
are fried.
It
those
says
are- yeah.
baked on the thing.
No,
You're
they're
getting
not.
the wrong ones, dog.
No. Think about it. What's a kettle?
Well,
Cape
just
Cod may have some
quick
baked.
question.
I think it's
quick-
Cape Cod. Am I right about this, Leo? Are you-
Yeah.
Are
yeah,
those
let me
the
look.
ones
Look 'em
that they
up.
have? Are those the ones that they have at Subway?
No, I don't think so.
I thought they have Miss Vicky's.
They have Miss
You know what?
Vicky's.
Miss Vicky's. Shout out to Miss Vicky's as well. Kettle chips, not bad.
Yeah, they have the
Even Lay's does a decent.
Cape Cod kettle chips right
they're
here,
not
bro.
they're not the best, man. But oh yeah. Those
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Cape Cod fucking kettle chips are fucking.
They're good, bro.
Those are rest.
Zaps. You ever had Zaps?
No.
I don't
No.
know what the fuck. y'all
Introduce us to a new one, sir.
Zaps. I think it's double P. Potato chips, dude. Oh,
For
man.
all
Y'all
junk
are
food
fucking getting
junkies.
me hungry.
these
bro.
these bitches right here, bro.
I like the packaging. That's some old school shit.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude.
Makes me want
Regular
like some
flavor.
Cracker
They got
Jacks.
they got voodoo, bro.
Can we get any love for Cracker Jacks in the house?
Cracker Jacks, bro. The prize was not the prize, bro. The peanuts that you found inside were the prizes.
Yeah. That's good logic, kids.
Don't eat the Cracker Jack for the prize.
where was
Eat
I?
it for the ride.
I was going.
Dude, that's
somewhere
like a
with this,
buddy
though.
once told me about drinking. He was like, "Look, man, if you're sad, don't drink. Drink to get to be happy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like don't drink to get happy. Like drink because you are happy. That's some life advice you could live by. He'll be dying of sclerosis next year. He's a very happy man. Sclerosis? Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cirrhosis.
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 You fucked me up there for a little bit too.
No, it's halfway between scoliosis and cirrhosis. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the calcification of the spinal cord. Again, kids, we don't know what we're talking about.
I literally lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere with what I was saying.
I finally did it, y'all.
I forgot. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say.
I done broke his mind.
But yeah, potato chips, man. Oh yeah, the fucking yeah, dude. Oreos and the Blazing Buffalo fucking Doritos, dude. That was my shit.
Nice. So Doritos would be your go-to corn chip.
Again,
Lay's for the potato.
Yeah.
Because corn chip, I believe, should be its own separate category.
I get nasty shits from corn chips.
All corn chips?
Yeah, well, majority of them.
Do you think you have an issue with corn?
I think so. I think it's like I'm not sure there's gluten in corn. Is there gluten in corn? Or?
Corn has its own protein. I think there is a corn like gluten. That's what
Yeah.
gluten is the protein in
You
it.
know what I think that really fucks you up? That I don't think you notice how much you consume of it because everything has it.
What?
I think it's really the fructose.
The fructose?
I think that shit because that shit fucks a lot of us up.
Fructose is the natural fruit sugar, you know?
Not necessarily.
Fructose is still not the best for you, man.
Like
There's-
concentrated fructose?
Yeah.
No. Hold on. It's not fructose. Is it what is the natural fruit sugar?
fructose.
Is it
Well,
really?
I think it has sucrose as well, but I think
But
fructose is.
I think the amount of fructose you get from a single like peach or whatever is not the same amount of fructose you get from like a peach cup, like a cup of peaches.
fair
Like I
enough.
think they concentrate the fructose when it's like in those packagings and stuff like that. Like I think
Well, also usually when you're getting fresh fruit, like it's that midway point between being like
ripe and over.
yeah, so
overly
you're
ripe.
still getting a little bit of the starches and not the
and you're also getting the fiber from the peel and all that stuff that helps you break down the fructose.
yeah. But how much fruit are you eating is also an issue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. If you're guzzling down like.
I gave up juice years ago myself, man.
No, I don't juice fruit. That's what a lot of people have. Like a lot of these fruit places or a lot of these juice stands, they juice the fruit. I think like that's like counteracting the fact of eating the fruit. You eat the fruit with the fiber content on the peel, and then the
Okay, how do you feel about blending then?
Hold on, time out, because I have an argument. Because I have an argument with that.
Yeah.
When you get a real juicer, a real one, you get an orange or a grapefruit, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the whole thing. You don't cut it, and the whole thing fits in the pipe. I don't know the technical term,
but you're juicing it out.
Yeah, and but it juices everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're juicing it. I think the part of breaking it down, like with your
you're not understanding what I'm saying.
There's a difference between pressing and
it's juicing the whole fucking thing with the peel. You're not cutting it.
No, but that's what I mean. Like you're not. Your body is not breaking it down itself. It's having it already breaking down.
All you're skipping is the chewing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the chewing.
Yeah,
that's why I brought up blending, because I thought maybe you were talking about the pressing. Like if you're talking about like just the straight up throwing it in and zzz, blending, essentially blending it down to.
No, because think about it like this: how much of the fruit substance do you have once you're done juicing or pressing? It's not as much as like the fruit itself.
Again, when you bring pressing in, you're taking out the fibers and all of the solid matter. That's different.
Yeah.
If you're leaving that in, then it's almost essentially like eating the fruit, only you don't have to chew it as much. I mean, depends on how much how processed it is.
I don't remember the comment on this, but there was someone debating this, and they had explained it in a way where actually like the best way to eat the fruit would be like to actually break it down with your teeth and break it, like have your body naturally break it down.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a nutritionist or a professional by far, but I honestly think that as a human being, as long as you consume the vegetable or the fruit, but I mean like the actual thing, like not the fake stuff, like not, you know how you go, like you were saying, you go to the store and you buy the juices,
right,
but it's really like water and sugar. Not that. I mean, like what our cameraman saying, like fucking, like when you get the actual fruit and say that you juiced, for the sake of the example, say that you juice the fruit. What I'm saying is whether you eat it or whether you juice it, I think that you're still going to get a lot of the benefit. Like what I'm saying is I don't think it's going to make much of a difference if you eat it or juice it. Now, if you go to the store and buy the orange juice, which is just water and sugar, yeah, you're not going to get shit out of that.
Yeah, and I think there is an argument that can be made that we probably, as just overall, have weaker jaw muscles.
That was what it was. That's what it said. Like the fruit and the vegetable, and whenever it's grown, it has enough fiber to actually break down the sucrose and the fructose from either the fruit and vegetable.
Okay.
So when you juice it, you lose a lot of the fiber. You still have some fiber, but you lose a lot of the fiber. Therefore, a lot of that.
Why would you lose? Again, if you're bringing pressing into it, you're taking out the plant matter.
This is with juicing, because with juicing, you're taking out a lot of that excess fiber.
How? How are you taking out the fiber?
You're cutting it. You're basically making that.
Well, that's
into
what you do with mastication, man. That's what chewing is supposed to be.
Yeah, but you.
That's honestly what I was saying. Was getting to is we don't chew as much. Like there have been studies done that show that we do not chew as much.
The pulp from the fruit isn't being mixed with the fructose, and that's not creating the same chemical reaction that's going on in your stomach. That's the thing. And a lot of it is being cut out because some of the fibers get clogged into the machine. A lot of the fiber is not being put into the extract itself either. So it's like it's a portion of the fiber.
That may be an argument for blending rather than juicing.
Again, this is why I pointed out a real juicer. I don't know if you've ever used one, but I've used like a real juicer, right? So I understand what you're saying, and this is why I'm saying this. You juice the fruit in the little pipe thing, right? And then through one side...
Okay, can you name a real juicer, though, so I can see it?
fuck, I don't know, brand, bro. Just put
So
juicer.
what was the brand that you used?
I don't remember the brand. I just put fucking like if you no, that doesn't look like a fucking
Vitamix.
I don't know what the fuck.
I mean, that's more of a blender than a
That's
juicer.
that's a blender.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a juicer. Like if I were to see the picture, I could tell you that
There's masticating juicers, which is what I was saying. That
look like
these are-
that, like that one. But it's still not that. No, the other
Yeah.
one, the six, that one. Click on it.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, because I want to show you something. Watch. So juicers like
The
this,
super
bro.
angle premium deluxe stainless
Look.
steel. Jesus, that's a lot of work.
Okay,
What
so
the
look,
fuck?
what I'm telling you, look, this looks like a press. You have to press the
Yes,
fruit in there
But
somehow.
I'm gonna explain.
There's these
something
things in
to you.
here where a lot of the fiber gets caught into,
Okay,
and that's fiber
So-
that you're squeezing contents out of that.
So that's
But
what I
you're
want to.
not.
That's
you're
what I
not
want to explain.
Collecting that fiber.
That's what I want to explain to you.
Yeah.
So the juicer that I was using and the commercial juicer that they have
This is a commercial
at
juicer.
at the protein shop.
Yeah.
Go click on the picture in the middle again.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. No, the other one. I'm sorry. That one. Okay. So you have the little pressing thing on top, right? And again, keep in mind what I'm about to tell you. This one doesn't have it, but the one over there that they use does.
Yeah.
So you put the fruit in that tube. Then you press it down. The juice comes through here, through this front part here that you're looking at.
Yeah, I know how the juicer works.
The fiber part that
Yeah.
that you're talking about that gets stuck in the thing.
Yeah.
In the back of the thing, it has like another hole.
That's where
So-
it's all being put into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so,
know.
So it's being put into there.
Yeah.
And then what they do, well, I mean, you can do a lot of things with it because the guy tells me all the time. Like, it throws all that shit in there. And then the guy takes it out and he tells you, do you want this or do you want me to throw it away? I tell him to throw it away. But technically what he's saying is you can take all this shit and you can put it back in your juice or you can put it in a second cup and you can literally scoop it and eat
Okay,
it.
but you
I don't do that because I don't like the texture.
okay,
mean,
you're
there's
kind of
also-
ruining the argument here,
Yeah, dude,
which was
you don't-
basically the only reason to have the kind of machine you're talking about is if you essentially don't want the fiber, which you should. Again, you make a good argument that there is a need for that in the system. Again, the texture is not that great.
Yeah. I mean, there's also like another thing that deters me away from juicing is there's no like real medical research that shows that juicing is a lot healthier than eating the fruit. You know,
Well, there is
like it just eliminates the time
It's
it takes.
honest. Yeah, that's what
Look,
I was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro,
look
all
up
juicing,
blending. See if fucking blending.
I don't know about blending. Like I just
Okay.
all I'm telling you, man, is that you're partially right because juicing, all it is, bro, is just it's for lazy people.
Yeah.
You just want to like drinking.
Yeah.
You just like me. I would much rather drink all the shit that I need to drink instead of me having to eat an apple, a fruit, a carrot.
Okay, here let's make an argument for it. I think people who are say sick or have some medical condition, there may be an argument. Like if
Well, you don't have to call me retarded, bro. You don't gotta be a dick about it.
the not that kind of medical condition, motherfucker.
Well, you need to explain yourself. 'Cause
I'm talking about like say a gut condition or
Oh.
maybe a sick person. Like say somebody gets a cold, you give them broth, you give them juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple foods that the body can use for.
By the way, broth tastes like shit. But go ahead.
You ain't putting enough salt in it, motherfucker.
No, it's gross, dude. I've had chicken broth. I had beef broth. I've even had some kind of fish. shit.
You've had like marrow broth, like
Yeah, that marrow shit.
yeah.
I could drink
Fucking
broth like
gross.
coffee, dude.
Yeah.
I love
It's
a good
fucking
A
bone
lot of
broth.
people put bone broth in their coffee, man.
Yeah, it's-
Fucking gross.
I did it for a short while.
I'd rather put Southern Comfort, but go ahead.
there's a lot of benefits to your
There's a lot of benefits to
Southern
Southern Comfort in
Nah.
your coffee too. Nah.
Nah,
You ever wondered if you could make your shit smell like a Christmas tree? You can.
Yep. Even Kahlua, bro.
Hey, we're going on the 10-minute mark.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right on.
but yeah, like it
So-
shows here
so-
that blending is significantly
So-
healthier than juicing, or there's more retainment of the vitamins.
Yeah. Again, you know why? Because of the.
But is there a benefit necessarily, say, for digestibility or?
I don't. It doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't make that argument on this article.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Look up blending and mastication.
Blending and mastication.
Because you were bringing it up earlier, the whole idea of the
that was
I've never-
$1,600, right?
what?
Yeah.
That's fucking expensive.
Who the fuck pays $1,600 for a blender?
It's a- no,
I'm probably the
it's a
same person
juicer.
that paid $400 for Beats headphones.
Fuck you.
Call
all I
back
gotta
and a
say.
burn. You are learning, Padawan. We'll have you up on stage in no time, motherfucker. Where's that first joke?
It's not a good joke.
Nobody said it had to be. You just,
Hey,
it just
remember
gotta
that-
be.
Remember that Amy Schumer managed to make a career out of it. So there's a chance for you, bro.
Want to talk about a deep cut. For those of you that are joining us into 50, what is this, episode 57?
57, yeah, 57.
Yeah, this is episode
This is 57?
Yeah.
57.
Holy shit.
Damn, that's the part I didn't mention in the intro.
Just like
Sorry, folks.
Hey,
Just
dude,
like
on the 100th episode,
here
what are you
we
guys
go
gonna
with
do,
that
dude?
100 shit.
What are you guys
Why?
gonna do, bro?
Why?
Huh?
Why? First
So
of all,
you guys
why?
so you guys could build up the hype.
Why not at 99?
That sweet, sweet marketing.
I mean,
And
was-
why not at 101?
Huh? Okay, well, the hype would be useless at
Okay,
101.
clearly
No,
at 101, I'm
Yeah.
going to come in dressed like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator.
Oh, I thought we were gonna like commentary on 101 Dalmatians.
I thought something
Yeah.
similar.
Okay, I'll be dressed as Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, holding a Dalmatian,
Dalmatian.
and then
You're the person that they sent out to save the Dalmatian. Is the Terminator.
I've come
On our
back in time
100
to
on
defend
our 100
Pogo.
episode, you know what we're going to do for 2 hours?
Pogo leads the resistance in the
sex
future.
toys?
Well, you're very close, but not that.
What?
On our 100 episode, you know
I'm
what?
sorry, rewind. Review sex clubs? Is it
Review sex toys.
sex toys.
Oh, hey!
No.
By the way, shout out to the the velvet door.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. That's not real.
RGV. No, dude, it's real, bro.
No, I know
it's
what
real,
you,
bro.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
RGV's local sex club.
yeah, but you
Okay.
can't go really. Like you can't go in there and
You don't
fuck
talk
people,
about Fight
that's what I'm
Club.
saying. But anyway, on our 101 episode, you know what we're gonna do? We're
What?
go for 2 hours. All we're gonna talk about is finding commercial movies where you clearly see penises.
That is
Okay, I'm probably gonna call
very
in sick.
specific.
I'm probably gonna call in sick for that episode. Let me know when you were doing commercial movies with boobies.
That's what I
You know?
think about. That's what I think about making a big deal about the 100 episode. And why not 101 or 99?
It's the 100th episode, bro. I'm just saying.
That's my point.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna bring some streamers, some sparklers, and
Or we can make it a 3-hour episode and break down the movie Blood In, Blood Out from beginning to end.
there's not much to break down.
Yeah, there's a lot to break
There's,
down. in that
no,
movie.
it's not like
There's
it's like the cinematic trove to foreshadowing and how cinemas. I mean, it's just a pretty open-ended movie.
No, there's a lot.
Right. We'll do this on the 100th episode, and I'll try to debunk any meaning within Blood In, Blood Out. Dude, it's just a barrio movie.
You watch it one time, the meaning's very simple, man.
Yeah, bro. Vatos loco for life.
No,
No?
that's exactly my point.
Stuff happens and people make choices. Simple as that.
That's in every fucking movie.
Exactly.
It's a very simple message,
It's a
man.
very...
No,
Very
that's in
simple
again. You
message.
didn't understand what I said. That's
don't
in
think-
every movie.
I don't think the people at...
What was the
let me-
point of Terminator?
Oh, stuff happens, people die.
No,
Exactly.
bullshit. There is no fate except that which you make for yourself.
How is that different?
You know what, Sean?
In a
You know
lot
what,
of ways,
You know
no,
what, Sean?
it's not.
You're actually right, yeah. But I don't think they had...
Shout out to Michael Bain.
I don't think the people that made Blood In, Blood Out had like this big idea that this was going to be like the story of like...
They put some effort into that movie, man.
They did, but there's no hidden meaning behind Blood In, Blood Out.
No, I never said that
There's
there was a hidden meaning to it. I said breaking down the movie, kind of like people broke down Titanic when it came out.
Meaning what? Like, okay,
There's really, like, think about Titanic. There's not much to it other than fucking the boat sunk and people died.
yeah, but there was a lot of even shots in the movie that didn't make sense. So that's why I would like to do this, so I could break it down too, and be like, hey man, this movie, it was a good movie at the time, but there's some shots in here that didn't make sense.
Like?
When we watch the movie, I'll
No,
show
just
you.
one. Just give me one.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that when I was watching it last time at Cine El Rey, I specifically went to like, ha ha ha.
You took a notebook, didn't you?
No, not really. I was really drunk. Me and my friend were just like making fun of it.
Ah, yeah.
It's either gonna be that movie or Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind is a lot like. I mean, I don't
Have
really
you
like
guys
that
sat
movie.
through that movie?
I don't like it. I don't like that movie, but that movie is a really good like the people.
I did like that movie. What I remember from it, I need to rewatch it. But I like that one.
Did you make it all the way through in one sitting?
Yeah,
I just
that I remember.
No, dude.
I've talked to people that were like,
But
nah,
I was-
like they watched it, but they were like, nah, I had to do
But
it
I was
chunks.
tipsy. Like I was. Tipsy
I've watched
when
videos. I've watched videos though where people explain like the cinematic like importance of that movie and what it did for like cinema after that.
Right, but you can say the same thing for Birth of a Nation.
Yeah. And that's basically all I know about that movie. I don't really. It
It's
doesn't
either
seem like my kind of movie.
I will say this: I got to the end of Gone with the Wind, and
Yeah.
I was like, respect, man. They pulled off the grandiosity of the project, but I wouldn't go back and rewatch it for giggles.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be that one,
Yeah.
Casablanca, or Schindler's List.
I have
Dude, how
never
about-
watched Casablanca.
How about we
What
just
the fuck,
I haven't.
bro?
Yeah, that's
You
the response I get when I tell people.
You need
I
to
know,
watch
I know,
that
man.
fucking movie. Have
Yeah,
you ever
okay.
seen The Untouchables?
Yes,
Okay, good. I was about to be.
Godfather. No,
Yeah,
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. No, I've run into people, dude. I didn't realize how much I quoted The Godfather until I was hanging out with some people that had never seen The Godfather.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something to close this off on, and maybe we could write this a little bit longer than I mean we're kind of over time, but I
Get
think
to
it's
the
okay.
point.
What is your guys's? You know how we were mentioning earlier, like, hey man, your musical
Oh
Mount Rushmore.
shit!
What does your cinematic Mount Rushmore look like?
What do you mean? As in movies or actors?
Movies specifically.
Movies?
Yeah, movies that like would you
Fuck,
consider
dude,
like
how
your
many?
top,
How many do I?
your top
get to
four, bro?
choose?
Your top four, bro. These
Four?
are the founding movies that set your movie appreciation.
Holy shit, dude, that's fucking hard.
Yeah, think about it.
I got one.
You got
but
one?
I can't think of three
No,
others.
you can mention it as you think of them, dude.
Scarface.
Scarface. Why?
Scarface because it was one of the first movies of its kind that showed you the rise, the reign, and the clear
Yeah.
fall of a real drug lord. I mean, not a real drug lord, but like in the movie. Every other movie before that, if you really think about it, it only showed you either the rise or the reign.
No, there was no rise. That was the thing about the movie. It
Yeah.
humanized this drug lord.
Yeah.
To where you saw his struggle, and then you
yeah.
saw him come down. Because
Yeah.
every other movie
Right.
from then, it would assume that they were already on top and
Yeah,
they came down.
exactly. Either that or they never showed you like the fall. Like the real fall.
Yeah, like you assumed that
You
they
know what
were
I'm saying?
just continued on power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or they
So
got
that-
machine
so-
gunned down,
so-
and that was the end of it.
And,
There wasn't.
and to me,
Yeah.
Al Pacino, bro, in that fucking role, to me, nobody could have done it better. A lot of people say that De Niro would have been able to pull it off, but no, bro. Al Pacino
Yeah.
just murdered that.
You know what was my one gripe from that movie, dude? And you guys might look at me like a millennial, but I hated the fact that they didn't really get an actual Hispanic or Cuban actor to play Scarface.
I can see that.
You know?
I wouldn't shit on you for that. I can see the argument there.
Yeah.
But Pacino still
Yeah,
killed
he
that role.
did a good job. He did a
Yeah.
good job.
Fuck, and then that Cuban accent, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
My
It
favorite
would have
part-
been a different. It's kind of like the whole argument with Back to the Future, where they had the other actor film most of the movie before they brought in Michael J. Fox.
And I guess no, I can't do that because I wouldn't be what's it called? I wouldn't be genuine about it. I was gonna say if you want me to choose 4 movies, I was gonna say Scarface and the 3 of the Godfathers, but that's not true because Godfather
Yo, personally,
2
I didn't
was
like.
not. I liked all 3 of them, but dude, Godfather Part 2. I think it was Part 2.
What do you think of the saga, the 6-hour cut, where it has all the cut
I've only
scenes,
seen it
and they
once.
do it in chronological order,
Yeah.
so it's basically 1 and 2 edited together.
I've only seen it when they did that marathon.
On
Yeah,
TNT.
that's the first time I ever watched The Godfather. I was about
No.
14 years old.
No. What I'm saying is, I only saw the 6-hour when they did that marathon.
I get you, man. I'm saying that's the first time I ever watched The Godfather. Was like I caught it.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I caught it about maybe 2 hours in, and I was like, "What the? Oh, okay, The Godfather. I've never watched this," and then sat there for the rest of it.
Bro, you know what other movie people sleep on a lot?
What, man?
Carlitos Way, bro.
Is that you're gonna
Good
add
film.
that? You're gonna add that to
No. I wouldn't add that to Mount Rushmore.
I think my Mount Rushmore. The first movie I'd want to add is like Taxi Driver.
Why?
Because it basically in my
I need
eyes,
to rewatch it
I saw
again.
this movie not too long ago, not recently, a couple of years back. I would say maybe like 5 years back. I saw it for the first time, and for me, when I watched it, it basically encompassed a generation of people coming back from Vietnam. You know, I think it talked about. It had a lot to say about what like war does to people, and no matter how like good they try to be, like there's a lot of like this negativity that happens when you're put into like into a big stressful situation.
Yeah.
Where it kind of curbs your judgment for the better part of your life, you know.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, man, like for the time that it was released, there was a child prostitute, bro. I mean, come on. In the I think it came out in the 70s, I think.
Right.
It like
Shout out to Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, dude, like she did such a good job, but there was an extremely like prolific movie where it showed you these elements of like the street life that was actually happening, and you saw this guy like trying to protect these women, you know, especially the other woman, the one.
And
that
it's a very misunderstood movie because there's a lot of people. There are a lot of films that copy like that last shot where they go through the ceiling and do the tracking shot.
Yeah.
I've seen that shot 100 fucking times in other films, but the part they never copy is the bit that was actually interesting about the movie, was that exploration of Bickle and kind of these characters that he's running into, that they're kind of seeing this little, like everybody is interpreting him in this different kind of way. And it's always, they know he's weird, but like they have no idea this, reality that
Of
he's inhabiting.
Yeah, exactly.
And building himself up in.
Yeah.
But in the end, man, it's like almost the manifestation of this reality in some way makes some little change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The question of whether it does anything is kind of left open-ended.
Yeah.
I honestly don't like it as Scorsese's strongest, like as a Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
But much respect to it, again, for the cinematics, and a lot of films haven't since explored that territory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Goodfellas was also a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. I never forgot that fucking quote, dude. That
Dude,
was the shit.
If you do nothing, if you've never seen any Scorsese movie, and all you want to do is watch his gangster films, you would still see some of the best movies ever made.
Fuck yeah, man.
If all you watched was the gangster films.
Fuck yeah, dude. That Goodfellas is just something. Dude, when I first saw Goodfellas and I was mesmerized, I was like 10 years old, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even supposed to be watching that
1992, motherfucker.
shit. Yeah. I
That's
wasn't
when I was
even
born, bro.
I wasn't even supposed to be watching that shit. And I was like, people, dude, like, in my mind, I was like, this exists?
Dude,
And they kept telling me that it was a movie.
Dig this,
is that
man.
your Mount Rushmore? Goodfellas?
Nah, I still
No.
wouldn't, man.
Dude, I remember watching.
Just Scarface for now. I can't think of another
I
one.
put Godfather up there because you were like,
What? Okay, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I put Godfather on yours.
Didn't you put Godfather on the list?
Yeah, you put Godfather on your list too, right?
And I like the way you didn't
Yeah.
exclude the third one. That's
Well, because it's a trilogy.
yeah. I think it also
I
has
just
some of the
didn't
best
agree-
scenes in the whole
Yeah,
series, man.
yeah.
Dude, the confession scene.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking one of the
But it
strongest.
was like
fucking,
two honestly really fuck with me because 1 and 3 were great,
Yeah.
and like in my mind, I was like, why would you drop the ball on 2?
Why do you what do you
I think
think
they were-
was weaker about 2 as a film?
1,
Did you feel like it was a setup for 3?
yes,
3 was never planned.
No,
but
it wasn't?
No.
but an
actually,
issue-
It was going to be 2, but 2 was super long.
Coppola basically admitted that he spent too much money on a project and had to make it up, so he made a third Godfather.
my problem with 2 was that it took too long to develop
Yeah.
the story. It was kind of the same problem that I had with the Hulk. It
The
took
one with
the
Norton?
yeah. It took
Yeah,
too
I like
fucking
that one,
long,
bro.
man.
I
No,
liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
They just took too fucking long to
To do anything.
yeah to
Like
get
the
it.
the action, all the
Yeah.
boy stuff.
Yeah.
and the fact that it kept breaking pace by going
Yeah.
back and forth.
Oh yeah.
I think that's one reason. I think the Godfather saga, which is the
Yeah.
6-hour cut with all the extra material,
Yeah.
is worth looking at. It's kind of like Apocalypse Now Redux.
Yeah.
You guys ever watched through that?
Oh, that's
no.
what I was gonna ask
No,
y'all.
I haven't.
Have y'all ever watched the movie where you saw a scene in the movie
Mhm.
and you were
Several.
too disturbed to continue watching?
Oh fuck yeah, bro!
That-
Shout out to Pier Paolo Pasolini.
what the fuck is that?
Look him up, bro. I don't want to say much on him because he just makes weird ass movies. Pier Paolo Pasolini.
But what movie did that to you? What happened?
I'm just gonna say the title and you'll get it, dude. 120 Days of Sodom.
Okay.
Yeah. Released in the 1950s. I think it was a little bit after World War II, or maybe no. I think it was in 1940s after World War One. It was inspired by the Marquis de Sade, his book 120 Days of Sodom.
I've never seen that.
It's a fucked up movie.
There is
But
so
he-
then
but
the
he-
whole movie's fucked up.
The whole movie's fucked up. This
Holy
guy as a director is fucked up. He made this one movie that was pretty good, something of Arabia, and he made a Jesus movie. He made a movie about Jesus, and those were pretty good. So he made it as a trilogy. He called it his trilogy of life. It was this Arabia movie, it was this Jesus movie, and then it was 120 Days of Sodom.
Oh,
So you watch the first 2 movies and you're like, fuck, dude, this guy's like an artist, you know? And then you watch that last one and you're like, oh, dude, this guy's fucking disturbed.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
With me, and it's only been one movie that really fucked with me, and I couldn't. Like, I saw it. I saw this scene the first time by accident because I had never seen the scene. I had never seen the movie before, but it was The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, shit.
The first one? No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
The whole
that
the
movie's
whole,
fucked,
no,
dude.
no, no,
That
no,
whole
no.
movie's fucked,
no,
bro.
no. The movie's fine, bro,
Yeah.
because it's gory and I get it. I'm fine with that.
Here, I'm gonna take a
The part that
Wait,
that
what time are we at here?
We're about like 13 minutes over.
Yeah, so we'll
We'll finish
cut it
this
out.
conversation. Well, hey, I got a pee too, so let's go ahead and then close this out, man.
Oh, you want to fight for the restroom or what?
No, I wasn't. Gonna
Yeah, all right, fine. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Run, lad, run.
The problem that
Run for the hills. Go for it.
the problem that I had with that movie, or like really disturbing, that till this day I can't watch that scene, and I will fast forward, is the rape scene.
Yeah.
When they go into the trailer and shit, and they
Yeah, I got you, man.
that was I can't until like today. I've seen that movie about 5 times, and I've never seen the rape scene in its entirety.
I got
I
you.
just it really fucks with me. And I've seen all of the 7 Saw movies straight through. you would think that would fuck with somebody, but nah. But that scene, like, it really fucked. I was like,
I will say at the end of the first Hostel movie, like I was like, I'm like, first of all, I was like, I'm never watching that again, and but also when I found out like they were making sequels, I was like, no, good. I got the message the first time. Got it.
yeah,
Do not
completely
trust.
understand.
Yeah, do not walk into
trust-
warehouses with people you don't know.
So you missed it, man. The only thing I said was the only thing I
Man,
said.
he can listen back to the podcast.
Yeah, you don't have to repeat it,
Did
bro.
was there anything? What were we? Did you finish your list?
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
that
more,
was
dude.
it. No,
Oh, wait.
That's all I got.
Okay, yeah. Didn't you? You were starting, Leo. You said
Yeah, Taxi Driver, Memento. I would add that as my second movie.
right on.
Drive, the Ryan Gosling movie.
Gotcha.
Drive, really, bro?
Yeah, dude, that movie is.
It's a
Wait,
beautiful
isn't that
film.
with
Yeah, dude.
Nicolas Cage?
No,
No,
it's
no.
Nicholas Wayne Refn as the director.
I thought Nicolas Cage came out in that movie.
No. That's maybe Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, man. There's one with Drive in it with Nicolas Cage.
there might be, man, but Drive was
Where
the,
I think he was a hitman.
I mean, Drive the
Drive is the one with Ryan Gosling where he's the autistic getaway driver.
yeah.
That's the one where he stomps the guy's head
fuck
open
yeah,
in the
dude.
fucking. Dude, that is the most brutal, beautiful fucking bit of violence I've seen in a long time. I was
And-
also wired to the tits at that point. Just nostrils stuffed in both angles.
And then like the
Great film to watch on cocaine.
like my last one would probably be Breathless, dude. The Jean-Luc Godard movie. I that like new wave, the new wave era of films is pretty cool for me. I liked it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what about you, Sean?
I'll run through this real quick. I'm actually going to go by directors because I was trying to make a list of films and I've got a few, but I'm just going to go directors. Let me see if I got this number correctly. Shit, right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and throw. Oh fuck! I just blanked. Kubrick.
Okay.
Kubrick in there. I almost hate to put this motherfucker on the list, man, but Spielberg. Yeah.
I like Spielberg.
No,
as a
he's good.
director.
He's good. He's just kind of cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of arguments, and I'll actually give him credit for both acting and directing. Mel Gibson,
Mel Gibson? You're gonna
Yeah.
put? Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Luc Besson,
Oh damn!
and this last one, man, it's questionable all the way around, but I'll do a classic, Kurosawa. Yeah, man.
It's an OG lineup.
And I could make a couple of the last one, man. I could also make an argument for oh shit, his name is escaping me at this moment. Fuck, the motherfucker that did Sunshine and 28 days, 28 weeks later.
The French guy, the one that did the
French. I thought he was English.
no, I remember you thinking Eternal
Both
Sunshine.
of y'all fucking
Are you
threw me
talking?
off.
Are you talking
No,
about
not.
Eternal?
Oh no. Actually, that
Yeah.
I would actually. That's one of those deep cut references, almost like Kubrick,
Yeah.
where it's like the film as a whole
Yeah.
should be taken as an image.
Oh yeah.
And then
I mean, what's his name? Michael Gundry, that guy.
Gundry, I'm not familiar with.
I think he's the guy that did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, I thought it was. Fuck, I can't even remember the guy's name at all at this point. As a matter of fact, so. But yeah, there's a lot of. But I think that I would maybe switch out for like something like Kubrick.
Okay.
Again, like I said, man. But then there's.
I like how you hit on different like. You got like Kubrick, who's a very like avant-garde like filmmaker.
And here's the thing, man. One of the first things that ever pissed me off about Steven Spielberg
yeah.
was his adaptation of AI, which was
Oh.
a project that Kubrick passed off to him.
Yeah, dude, I love that movie. By the way, that movie's. I mean,
I have grown tolerant of it
yeah.
since, but I thought that some of the themes that Spielberg was hitting on were already done better by Bicentennial Man with
Yeah.
Robin Williams. And
Yeah.
dude, and that's based on a Isaac Asimov
Yeah.
short story
It's
or
another
a
good one.
novella, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, y'all talking about all this CGI in the early years.
Dude,
And
that was another thing.
Y'all are really
Bicentennial-
gonna sleep on Jumanji.
Yeah. Well,
That shit was.
but
tight.
I wouldn't call that an influential film.
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
Not
It was,
okay.
It was
not
a
for
movie.
me.
It was a movie.
If
that,
I'm making my list, I'm not going to throw it on there.
it's
man.
a
No,
feel good
no,
movie.
I'm sorry.
Braveheart was actually an influential film.
Wait,
to
hold
me.
on. No. And the only reason I referenced Jumanji was because of the conversation that y'all were throwing out about the CGI. Not as far
with
as
CGI. Don't get me wrong, man. I think.
So you thought all that shit running around was real, or was
No, because we were talking about AI and Bicentennial Man.
No, but you said something about CGI.
No. We didn't touch on CGI.
Or you did.
AI
AI.
was what we were talking about.
AI
man.
is
that
a
movie
movie.
with.
I thought I heard
It's okay,
CGI.
it's okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
You just blanked out.
I'm dyslexic. So.
I said Kurosawa, and this motherfucker was like, foreign films. Fuck this. I'm out. I think Freddy is prejudices.
No, I'm just dyslexic.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? I will even give, as far as storytelling and framing goes, man. And his name is completely bailing on me right now. But the motherfucker that did Training Day and Hard Times.
Yeah.
Ayers?
No. What's his name? I know who you're talking about. The
Dude,
director, right?
Let me just look it up.
Yeah. Well, I think he wrote. Either he wrote or directed Training Day, and he wrote and directed Harsh Times.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck, what is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Right here, director Antonio Fuqua or whatever.
Okay, no, then I'm lying. That's not
He's
what I
a-
was thinking about.
Bro, he's a good director, man.
Okay. Who was the writer for Training
he
Day?
Directed,
The writer was, I think it was it was a cop.
That is a classic movie. by
David
the way.
Ayer. Yeah,
David Ayer. Yeah. David Ayer, man. I would definitely give a shout out to David Ayer, man.
Dude, yeah, man.
That's a fucking badass movie.
This is a badass man, dude. He's made some good ass movies, dude.
Dude,
Fury,
and he gave
End of
fucking
Watch.
what's his name? That British fuck played Batman.
Michael. No,
Bale.
Bale. Yeah,
Christian Bale. Dude, he
Michael
just
Bale.
No, Michael. I was thinking Michael Caine.
he gave him some fucking lines to chew on in fucking Harsh Times, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, man.
Him and I'm trying to, for the life of me, I can't remember him, but the other co-star star in Harsh Times, fuck, it's right there, man. I remember watching him in that show 6 Feet Under. That's him, right? I'm talking about the right guy, right?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. You want to know? There's this movie. It's called La Haine. It's a French movie by some Muslim director, but it's basically like the equivalent of Training Day, but from like a non-cop perspective. Like it gives you a view of the crime and the street element in France during the 1990s.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's a cool movie. I would recommend you guys check it out because you guys were talking about all these gangster movies and
Dude, by the way, just to
You
shout
want
out
to go to
some,
jail? You want to go
some
home?
television show. There was an Australian show that just came out, I think last year on FX or FXX.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Nobody or Mr. Nice Guy or something like that.
That's a Jackie Chan movie.
no, there was another Mr. Nice Guy also.
It
was a show, right?
Yeah, try Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Nobody.
Australian gangster TV. That might not be the right one, but for the life of me, I'm having a hard time remembering it. Oh, that was never mind. Mr. Nobody was that
Jared Little movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
I'm having a hard time fucking remember it, but it's this bald fuck with a mustache. It looks exactly like Shooter, man. I swear. Yeah, I think Shooter even was posting up about it. Shout out to Shooter Roberts, one of our local bartenders, wrestling star, wrestling revolution.
Regular Renaissance man.
Yeah. Photographer, probably a pornographer, though he hasn't published yet. I look forward to it. His behind the camera work.
He's your local neighborhood hustler. He'll hustle anything.
I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. I wrestle on
Ted-
Fridays. Otherwise, I'm behind the bow.
Nah, dude, I don't know.
Wait, it's not coming up. Never mind.
No.
Don't worry about it, man. My point being is, man, there's a lot of great stuff out there that, granted, we've talked about it, like the whole, like, I think even in art, there is the tendency towards pornography in the sense that it has no useful nature sometimes. There's a lot of people doing gratuitous shit for no reason. Some of it...
Yeah, like those nympho movies.
No, those movies were actually pretty good. The
no,
Nymphomaniac movies.
Yeah, they're good, but
Yeah.
like they're kind of disturbing.
If you look at it, like it was the same way Kubrick. Like did you ever see the? I said his name wrong, didn't I?
No, you said his name right, man. I just wait. When you said nympho movie, you talking about the movie Nymphomaniac?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
That's a Herzog film, right? Werner Herzog?
Yeah. No. What was it?
Oh, not Herzog. What's the other fucking Swedish or German weirdo? He did that movie Antichrist with
What's
William Dafoe.
Yeah, dude, that was another good movie. The same lady that played the protagonist in Nymphomaniac.
He's going like some old school, like some Renaissance era Christian symbolism type of shit. You know what I mean? Like
you guys remember you guys have watched 2001 Space Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you guys remember the ending?
Yes.
And how like this robot, like I think it was basically a fuck you to the audience, you know?
Which part?
The end where the robot basically, like the guy finds out the robot has been controlling everything, and then he's just doomed. Let me see if I could get it. I didn't come up with this on my own. I saw someone.
Well, he wins against Hal. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, but
it's like that checkmate move where like you're left with no pieces.
Yeah.
And it's basically like I mean, it leaves you with a bad ending. I mean, it's a good ending, good cinematic ending, but it's like you go nowhere with the story after that.
Spoiler for anyone that finds deep meaning in that movie, which for a while I was following this one dude who was kind of explaining, using the movie to explain kind of
real life
alchemy. No, he was explaining alchemist theory. His idea was that the entire film was the search for the philosopher's stone, or like perfection.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, like that whole idea that he travels into the monolith, abandons the illusion of life, and becomes, the perfect man, goes through all the stages and is reborn as the Star Child. Until you find an interview with Stanley Kubrick in I think like 1986, or maybe it was earlier than that, where maybe it was 83. Anyway, the point being is he's like, oh yeah, no, he was in a space zoo, and then they let him go. It was like, good job, Stanley. Good job. Keep that one to yourself, brother.
Lars von Trier.
There you go. Yeah.
But I feel like he had a similar ending with the Nymphomaniac series. Like,
it wasn't really a series. It was meant to be like one fucking film, man.
Well, it is. Like in the Dutch, I think the original Dutch version of it, it's just like one big span movie. I could be wrong.
Right.
But it had the similar, like, kind of upsetting, like, sad, like,
yeah,
like, fuck, dude, really, this whole movie.
Well, he's not a fucking optimist, man.
No, he's not. But I mean, I just like.
I was fascinated by the whole blending of the like bringing in the porn stars, filming these very graphic scenes, and then
CGIing the.
Yeah, because dude, that
is horrific shit, dude. Like just to imagine like a star or someone like famous doing all that stuff, like
right.
It's just. Are you a Gaspar Noé fan? You know about Gaspar Noé?
The name is familiar, but I couldn't place anything.
He made this movie recently called Love, and it was like a mainstream pornographic movie. Mm-hmm. The actors he got in that movie actually did these sex acts, and it's basically he also did it. He lives in France, and France had this grant for filmmakers to make 3D movies. Right. So he took this money to make this pornographic movie. He made it in 3D. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's how you spend the government cash.
So he's a OG.
Well, where do I find this movie?
Oh, it's on Netflix, bro.
I thought you were gonna say, where do I find these grants?
Just type in Love on Netflix, and you'll see.
And what
it,
is it called?
It's called Love.
Oh, I've seen that movie. Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen it
pop out. Yeah, dude, it's.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what I was looking for when it came out. But
It's a fucked up.
Nobody's gonna look at your search bar.
If you like fucked up movies, this is a good fucked up movie. It's also like he's also
so there's real sex scenes in that movie.
real sex scenes. Like the actors have real sex, and they actually show it. Like it's not like it's like kind of like an artsy porn movie.
It's not like
because it has a storyline.
You know what? I want to throw out one more director. If you've never watched his work, he's done some just weird stuff. But Tinto Brass.
Tinto Brass. Who's that?
Yeah, it's very borderline pornographic with most of it, and then some of it is just straight out pornography. But
he looks like one of them dirty motherfuckers.
And definitely,
Oh, I've heard of Paprika.
yeah, he's got some.
Isn't that shit that you eat?
No, I mean that is, but the movie
and not the anime. This one a little bit different. But yeah,
Helen Mirren's come out in a couple of his movies, huh?
Helen Mirren, you know what? If she has, I haven't seen those.
Bro, honestly, from that portrait picture, everything about that dude says I will sexually assault you.
That is possibly. He actually has an entire movie about him getting freaky letters from women and like corresponding with them.
Oh, he stars in some of his movies too, huh?
Yes, he's one of those directors. I'm not saying there's any, say, necessarily artistic merit to most of his work, but I will say if you're looking for that stuff that at least has some, he knows what he's doing. He's having good fun. He's not doing some, weird, like, we'll put some lines in it and maybe a backstory, but really we're just here for the cum shot. Like, no, he's actually trying to do like erotica, which I think is a distinction to be made between porno and erotica.
That's something you don't see a lot nowadays, dude. Like
every once in a while it gets done. Kubrick actually did some very interesting work with all right, we were talking about Clockwork Orange the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like Valley of the Dolls, dude. That was like a very. I think it was a nice erotica movie, and a little trivia fact.
Roger Ebert wrote "Return to the Valley of the Dolls."
Are you for real?
Look that one up, man.
Return of the Valley.
That one's fucking pornographic.
Oh no joke.
Is this on Netflix?
I don't know.
I don't think. Or was it Beyond?
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a good night.
Watch that movie Love, bro, for real.
All right, so y'all listening to this, have yourself a little movie list, some names if you want to look up on Netflix and Hulu's and all the other good stuff. Let's go ahead and close this out. Freddy, let them know where you're at.
You can find me across the board on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Freddy G.
You can find me at hatfieldstandup@gmail.com as well as on Facebook and Twitter. You can find the audio version of this podcast at shoutengine.com/bouncing brains, as well as on Stitcher, the Google Music Play app, and new episodes premiering every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at rgvtitanradio.com. You can also find the video version at YouTube. You'll have to search for Bouncing Brains because we don't quite have enough subscribers for URL yet. So if you have listened or watched to an episode, if you've watched an episode of this, I guess, and have enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever. We're trying to get up in the algorithms too. We'd like to make some money at some point, which brings up the other point. Interact. Let us know how you feel. Like, otherwise we're just doing this for ourselves, which is great. I mean, we feel better afterwards, but that does nothing for you.
And I mean this in a very nice way.
He's about to say some shit to y'all.
If y'all want to just give us your money, we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, just send it over to Freddy's house.
Little heavy handshake, show up to a show.
Or you can send that to my email at xfreddygx@gmail.com. I take PayPal, Cash App.
Know that this money is not going to be taxed, and it will not be going to any child support.
Yeah, because this is
strictly
it would be
his money.
considered a sponsorship. or donation.
We will never speak of such things again. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been beautiful.
It's been great.
And all y'all in-betweeners, I'm sure it's been fun for you as well. We are out. Good night, good evening, and good morning.
Keep it tight.
Peace.